Well, it actually would be the same because
we're
playing an entirely different crew.
Okay, that's true. Right, first of all, I want it to be on recording that I made a huge sacrifice for you guys. Do you want to know what that sacrifice was? It wasn't hours of my own personal time. It wasn't waking up early on weekdays. God knows when. No. It was that I played hours and hours of fantasy and video game music on Spotify. So much so that my freaking top song of 2022 wasn't Separate Ways from Stranger Things. It was, in fact, Twin Elms by Jeremy Soule, which I listened to for 111 minutes. So, thank you, everybody. I just want you all to know that. And
I was aware.
In the spirit of that statement, here is Twin Elms. And hopefully for the last dozen billion times on this game. Just because it is such a good song. Anywho, I don't think we really need a recap. Unless anybody wants to.
Before? Sorry, I don't know why my dad chose this morning of all mornings to wish me good morning.
Oh, that's cute.
So, continue.
He knew you were playing D&D and wanted to make a guest appearance.
He did indeed.
He was like, "This is when the parents come a clutch for those interruptions. Gotta get in there before Emma's mum."
Oh my god!
My favorite guest star of the stream.
So, I don't necessarily think we need a recap per se, but I have received from everyone information which I have put into a sort of running order for the session, little tidbits from you, which are going to kind of just form out this last game of our campaign.
I take this off and turn my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feels like I'm a bit tooting my own horn, you know.
It's true.
I am the princess.
You are the princess. So I'll just let you know how this is going to go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go around and we're going to look at the short term. So it's like the 1 year.
Can't even write that.
During which you talk about like what you're doing in the short term, your short term goals. You can just tell me what happens. Tell us what happens. And what your goals are for the future, what you're aiming to do and that kind of thing. And that is within the next like 50 years. Then we'll play out a few scenes. And then at the end of the session, we'll talk about what you guys do potentially with the rest of your lives even.
And attend Bluey's funeral.
Indeed. We'll be doing that before you talk about what happens in the rest of your lives because we don't get that from Bluey apparently. Joking, I love you.
It's not your fault you chose to play a Dragonborn.
Wait.
Sorry.
However, in the spirit
I'm in a silly, goofy mood.
Me too. In the spirit of what I was doing, scrabbling around through the Discord about 10 minutes ago, I would like everyone to turn their attention to the link in the Facebook chat.
In the Facebook chat.
Indeed.
There's lots of dead people.
No, I'll play this for you. This is just a little backing music to really. Oh, Matilda! Oh, Matilda! Anyway. This is a list of
That is one fucking cute ass cat.
Nobody play the song yet.
Baz heard that, Georgia.
So do not yet play
Just
the
because
song.
I'm saying it, Matilda's cute doesn't make Baz any less cute.
Baz heard you and you can never take back
Guys,
words.
I'm trying to coordinate something here. Okay, so I would like everyone to, if it's possible for you, if not, you're going to have to hum this song to yourself.
But I just wait for you to play it because I'm right
exactly.
here.
Play the link when I say in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure you get the ads out of the way, otherwise that's going to be a bit weird. And for all of us, I'm going to
Okay, give me 1 second. It's loading.
Yes, I wasn't going to go immediately.
Sorry. I panicked, okay? I panicked.
Wee woo.
Sipping some Ganma chai, as your mum calls it.
Do you remember when you were...
Is it nice seeing Roppy again?
No.
Roppy? You want me to get Roppy again?
No, I'm saying, is it nice to see Roppy? Ooh,
Yeah.
Sorry, the ads are going.
Don't worry, let the ads play through and then pause, everyone.
He's such a
Tell
good
me when
boy.
you're ready. Put your hands up when you're ready.
Such a good boy, Roppy.
Eileen. Okay.
I
Everyone.
can't actually do it, but like, given
That's
my
fine.
setup.
Just hum the song. The song is "I Will Remember You." Hum that refrain, okay? As I lead us all in a moment of remembrance for the people we lost
My God.
along the way. Okay.
Are we playing now?
Yeah.
Yep. 5, 4,
Count us down.
2, 1. The whole crew of the Harbinger. George Shamrock. Goldrick Peacefeather, who you'll remember was one of the leaders of the Mellas Rebellion. Curtis Bane, who you'll remember as another leader of the Mellas Rebellion.
He wasn't very nice.
Manra's dad, who was the gnome who got beheaded. Lynette, who was the werewolf wife of Randall. Payne.
Oh.
Faye Wren, who was a bitch.
She was a bitch.
Sinestre, who was assassinated,
She was also a bitch.
killed by her own nephew. Odyssey, kind of. Sai, who deserved it. Geneva.
The goulash.
Rowena Bayrak, who did not deserve it. Kalosh Bayrak, who got what was coming to him. Alexa,
Oh my God.
another who did not deserve it. Arcadia, who if you was serious companion in the Underdark. She was real sexy, but I never did any art of her. Travar Karadaman Yazar, he died off screen.
Wait, I'm gonna get a candle too. You gotta wait. You gotta wait.
I got a name.
The scent is called "You Start in a Tavern."
Oh,
Oh,
And Lily.
wow. How are we all feeling, guys? Do you remember any of those names? Any of those NPCs?
oh, yeah, I remember.
Every single one of them.
Definitely.
Admittedly, it's patchy, but I'm here in spirits.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, everybody. This is really moving. Let me just repeat the last one. Travar Karadaman Yazar, who died during the Halconian Uprising. Harlia Ventress, let's forget her. Cortan Ventress, forget him too.
Yeah, we don't care about him. Oh.
No less than 77 pixies.
Yeah. That happened.
Courage,
Whoa.
little guy
Oh,
who had a lot to give.
Everyone's going out.
Ender Rashun, who did eventually come back in a different form, but it took the whole campaign. And
Worth
lest
it.
we forget, Acantha Rakas, Nefel Karadaman Yazar,
Everyone's
Louis, no, not you, Ulster Gaemon Dehane, and Slean,
And
and Duran, and Rala,
And Paul.
and Parole,
And Gerald.
and Jaral. Anyone else? Any you want me to add on?
Did you say Elijah?
Elijah.
Oh,
No, she's still alive.
probably Onric would probably be dead at this point.
No, well, this is the future dead. We haven't yet.
These are the currently dead.
Wonderful.
Slash have died.
Now, before we
I mean,
wrap up,
Colin's dwarf. So.
No.
We'll light another candle for them.
that there will be other dead people throughout this session. But the ones you can assume are dead.
To keep those candles lit,
There.
boys.
Did Ruby the kobold die? I forget now.
Well,
No,
she moved on
This moment.
gloriously.
3 minutes and 40 seconds of your time. And thank you all for joining in the candlelit vigil.
I'll light it again when someone dies.
Wonderful.
I have an apple pie scented candle. It always makes me hungry whenever I light it.
Mine's lime, basil, and mandarin.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Mine's Persimmon and Lily, and Anna bought it for me.
Oh, that's
Aw.
Yes, I did. Oh my god, because it had Lily in it.
Yeah.
Aw.
That is a very unusual gift to give me. I love it. My mum always gets me lilies, despite the fact that I'm allergic to them.
Oh damn. Are you?
But
are
the,
you
scent,
by
the
chance
candle
cat?
scent, perfect. But my
Weird
mum
sort
should
of cosmic irony in that.
It's true.
Yeah.
True.
You can cut off that little The little seed bits.
Their little genitalia. Yeah, but you also forgot
Yes.
that persimmon is one of my favorite scents. So I like this candle quite a bit.
Oh.
Well, there is nothing left now except
To die.
to play the game. Now, if you remember, we left the last session not quite in a perfect ending spot, but that's all right because we're going to talk through what happens.
We're gonna talk, guys. How do you feel?
With Cass. After she receives all the letters that she missed from her father, of all people. So, Cass, this is...
I'm still here.
Yeah, everybody, we're going to just go around and talk. This is within that 1 year, really, of post last game, not quite going into what we're going to cover this session, but what do you do with these letters? Do you read them? Do you try and contact your father in any way, or get someone?
Yeah,
to
I think
on your behalf?
I think Cass would, once she saw them, she would immediately read them, like straight away.
Sure. The contents of them are, you recognise quite quickly, very similar. They are updates upon updates from your father about the family that he is building with his new wife and how he wishes for you to be a part of that. How he regrets losing you after you lost your mother and asking if you can start again. And those letters go on and on. Sorry, there's one more thing. And the last letter that you receive.
I'm staring at the part of the orange tree, by the way. Not gonna...
Actually, no. The last letter. Hang on a sec.
Is this Lord of the Rings?
No. It's it is Pillars of Eternity. But it's a very popular.
I'm just gonna sit there to save my.
Sure thing.
But you call me over. I can hear everything, guys. My back is just not really up to sitting here. I love you all. I'll be here.
Okay.
Oh, good.
So, Cass. This letter says, hello. Dearest Cass, I'll have you know your father has been unwell of late. We aren't sure how long he has left, but whatever time he has, we are treasuring. And should the worst come to pass, it would soften my heart to know that you two had at least had one last conversation before he passes. I know we've never spoken, but I've always wanted to know more about you. In my own way, from a distance, I love you. And I know you cannot call me mother, but I think of you as part of my family. I also know that your sister would love to meet you.
Oh.
Best regards and love from us all, Tarina.
Oh, I think Cass, on reading that, is like runs to Loran and is like, "Send me to my father. Do it now, right now. I don't know where he is. Figure it out."
So,
Around your thing.
So you go to him. We're like I said, we're not going to fully play everything out, but you go to him. This letter, it's obviously backdated a few months. So whether or not you find your father there alive or otherwise, you don't know what to expect. But you go, and when you arrive there, you arrive to find a lively house with a young girl clipping roses and gardening out front. Inside, the smell of baked bread, of freshly cut vegetables, of fruit. And 3 bedrooms. One with a little girl's name inscribed on it, which is Ariel.
Oh.
One with Chorina, and I've forgotten what your father's called. I don't know if we
Darsan.
Darsan.
Yeah,
that's it.
Darsan.
Because I've always just referred to him as Cass's dad.
Yeah, it's Sarsen.
Tarina and Darsan. And one with Cass written on it too.
Oh.
And I think you find you are welcomed there, and that your father has in fact recovered. But he is now bedbound. And what small amount of time you have on the material plane, if you wish, you can spend getting to know him properly, if you like, getting to know this new family.
Yeah. I think Cass would spend as much time as she possibly could there, and explain it all. I think her appearance would probably have come as a bit of a shock to her dad. Like,
I think they didn't
what the fuck? Who is this girl?
An angel.
But some sort of weird mix of a bunch of different races just appears like, hello. But yeah, I think she'd spend all of her time sort of getting to know them as much as possible and catching them up on what's happened and why she's not been here, and also asking them about their life.
Yeah. And that's something you can definitely do. And I think you know that as time passes, your situation in the Feywild becomes increasingly secure. Titania, you learn Titania's moods, you learn the way things work there, you and Freya get into a life together. And you do still have that communication channel open. You can't go to the material plane often, but you can speak with your family whenever you wish to, with a little effort. Now, what is your short-term future goals? And is there anything you want to share with everyone that you're going to be doing over the next few years?
Yeah. I think over the next, in like the short-term goals, I think Cass, in her role as messenger between the Seelie and the Unseelie court, I think Cass knows that it's a bit too soon to be getting out onto the material plane as often as she'd like to tackle the sisterhood. So that's like future long-term goal, is to eventually get to a point where she can start getting rid of them in a more... But in the short term, she wants to do something fun and violent. So she's decided to set up a sort of between the Seelie and Unseelie court, a sort of arena style battle rivalry that sort of will flip between the Seelie and the Unseelie court, and basically I wouldn't say harmless, I would say good but very violent fun.
You know how Shay and Kindin were always quite thirsty for blood? That's kind of how it does end up. I do think there is sort of like reason to believe that like the origins of this, because you're involved, people say it began as a tavern brawl but turned into something so much more.
Yeah. I think Cass would have, like, on one of her visits to the Unseelie court, she'd have spoken to Titania about it prior to make sure that Titania was on board, and then she'd have gone to the Unseelie court and basically sort of like started boasting that nobody could have bested her as a representative for the Seelie court, so the Unseelies should just like bow down, and that's how I feel like it began.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Well, I think in doing this, it's going to take time to get full weight behind it. But whether or not it is the grand show of like a tourney between kings, or if it's a couple of adventurers from either world meeting in a tavern to have a game of chess or darts or a drunken brawl, every year something or other happens in that space. And in time, you think it's going to work out into something quite pleasing to Titania. But of course, in doing so, you will grant yourself a degree of freedom, which we will get to in a little minute. Slia, hello. I come to you next because something that Georgia mentioned to me that Cass does in fact involve yourself and your family. Georgia, would you like to explain that?
Yes, sorry. I think Cass on maybe that visit, actually, maybe the visit we've just had. I think she would go to you, and she has a castle which is just outside of Ironstone. It's on the coast. And it's not like a massive castle. We established it's a small castle, but it is still a castle. And I think she would go to Slia and be like, I want you to have this. I don't know, you might want to stay in the shop, but there's a lot of kids. And you can always live there for as long as you need. And then when Keon is ready, pass it on to him.
Keon.
Yes, Leah would. I appreciate the. I will keep it in order for Keon to inherit.
You can use it for whatever you need, even if you don't want to live there. If it's just a storage place. Though she looks over at Loran and she's like, it is not an extension of the shop.
Leah had definitely thought about that. I'm like, we could just store some things there, use it for a place for extra stock.
He's like gathering boxes onto the magic carpet and pulling them along like, let's go, boys, a new storage compartment. No.
Absolutely not. This is for whoever needs it. And I think if and I think she would say, like, if there's no one that you think, if you don't need it right now, then I trust for you to sort of let the people who do need it use it in the interim.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, her thoughts it's like, oh yes, we could use it as Loran's storage and keep the family all together with like more space. As part of that thought.
Nice.
If that was the thought, I think Cass would be like grudgingly like, yes, I just don't want him. She looks at Loran, all up in it.
I'm all up in everything.
Also, it's like, when?
Hi. Anyway, Slia, that leads us quite comfortably into you. So what do you wish to do with the time that you have after Cass's previous visit, like we said in the last session, until the near future, so the next couple of years?
In the next couple of years, Slia gets kind of restless. Like, she just can't sit down for so long. So she starts making trips, taking like the family with her, anybody who wants to go, to see Bluey once a year. And as well as like going on like camping trips with the kids, teaching them like about nature and whatnot as they get older.
You'll get the brown kids a lot.
Yeah, the brown kids will definitely hang out with you.
I feel like Kes and Keon become like the best like muscle bros.
Yeah. Bros. Yes, and Kestel has some advances in their magic.
Yes. Kes builds a keeps rebuilding Zia, the little hummingbird, over and over until we get a almost near like natural looking creature.
Amazing.
With this like delicately fine woven magic, and eventually builds like a little assistant for like to help out Onric at the forge. Her name is Anar, and She very much resembles Slia in her form.
Oh, a robot Slayer
Yeah,
has appeared.
but like made out of like this like white porcelain shell with like
I'm
blue
assuming that is
engravings.
a little bit further in the future
Yeah.
once they're a bit more grown. But at the moment, a very cool looking hummingbird with plans for an interesting Slayer duplicate, which Onric seemed to approve of, with their toothless grin and their winking nod, like yes, yes. But anyway,
Yeah.
do we need to introduce new characters now, or is that something a little bit later?
That's something a little bit later because
No problem.
the kids
We'll wait for that.
the kids are nearly grown when
Understood.
new people
No
enter
new
the
characters
picture.
yet, but you mentioned going to Melas every year for a little adventure with Bluey.
Yep.
Guys, I'm getting really good at segueing into all these different things. To which I would say, Bluey, with Slayer coming every year, or at least that first instance when Slayer comes and you're reunited in Melas, where such an important seismic event for the fabric of reality really took place. What do you think, and what kind of goes through your mind? Do you have any ideas from that?
Well, it was such a huge thing for everybody. I mean, in the efforts to rebuild New Melas, look,
New Melas.
it was it was great having Slayer over. To be honest, I want to see everyone. So, and you know, they're all so important to what happened to everybody else. And like, so many people are back, and so many people never got to see how it developed. Fuck it, let's make this a yearly thing.
So, a yearly tradition on the anniversary of the final fight, coming to Melas with as many of the DC who can in fact make it, as many NPCs who are able to join you for what you've described as a nice food and community event. Nothing too formal. So I'm thinking like a potluck meets like a village fete. Like Bilbo's party from Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
Yes, 100%.
I think certainly it would be over enough of an amount of time such that the people who prefer the nighttime for their sensitive skin can easily join in, and it's like, yes, accommodation.
Amazing.
Also for night owls, I guess.
Also for night owls. It's something that goes all the way through the day and into the dawn.
Also turns up like Wednesday Addams in the middle of the night.
Like, I'm here. I like the idea that you got a tradition of like watching the sunrise next to the tree where you all left your weapons, which as the time goes on begin to become more and more kind of grown into the roots of the thing itself. And it is a celebration, news of which reaches far and wide and draws a crowd every year, and your renown and fame grows and grows and spreads across all the continents of this realm and those of many others, many other worlds too. You even get dignitaries, royals from other countries coming to thank you all personally and bestow special gifts and dispensations, invitations to outrageously luxurious event like celebrations and events and coronations and weddings. Loran always says yes, but luckily, Cass, Titania recognizes after a couple of these how important of an event they become, and one of your regular appointments is to become an ambassador to these. Not for the first few, unfortunately, not quite. But when the royals and the godlings and demigods of this plane start to send their own ambassadors, she adds you to the roster, and you are able to see your friends a guaranteed day at least once every year.
I'd have also told like my
Your
blood family to come as well. Be like, I don't know when I could get to material play, but on this day I can. So Cass will just like, but like for the first couple of years you don't see Cass, and then one time she'll just rock up like the wine on, like, yeah, boo! The party's come to town.
And something I think happens on one of these such commemorations is Bluey, you are tired after spending all day setting up the events, and you finally get to sit down just as things are going into full swing. There's laughter and food and celebrations. Whitecliff Castle has become a monument to the success that you guys found here. Cities have been built on much less than a fine castle on a stretch of fertile farmland. But here, New Melas has truly, truly grown into something special. It spills down into the Crescent Bay still, just a little bit, but it is still mostly flooded, even after years of time. But there's plenty of space for people to live, start their own lives, have their own livelihoods, without fear of being trapped. And content in everything that you have done, having a little sit, a familiar face smiling peers next to you and passes you a very hot steaming mug of tea, and IT sits alongside you, her mittens just holding her cup, and she smiles. You've done a real good thing, Bluey.
I couldn't have done it without you. And also, this tea came at the right time. Oh, so nice.
You know, Bluey, we couldn't have done it without you. Any of this. What I'm basically saying is that you're really cool and amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool and amazing.
Thank you. Is something up?
No.
I'm pregnant.
I have eggs. They're hatching.
Look,
No.
I've not. Anyway,
Anyway, IT just says, no, nothing's up necessarily. I just wanted to ask you something, and you can't laugh at me or find it silly.
okay. I'm sorry. Look, you're just delightful. I can't help but
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Cool. Drink your tea. She stands in front of you. Drink your tea. Drink it all. I know it's really hot. Don't burn your tongue. Oh my God, it's going to blister your mouth. What are you doing, you mad woman? Oh God, no! I mean, it's fine. I'm joking. And do you drink the tea?
yeah, it's really nice.
As you drink it, something is revealed at the bottom of the cup. And in like scrawled draconic letters is a question.
Will you fertilize my egg? Sorry.
When you look up, IT is holding a flower.
Oh.
And she says, Bluey, will you marry me?
Oh.
Yes, yes.
Sick.
It doesn't
She
just
puts
throw.
the flower behind your ear,
Oh,
and gives you a big hug.
fuck.
Your dragonborn horn ear. She puts it in the little holes you hear out of. I've drawn dragon balls with ears before, but mostly they're just like horns and scaly flaps.
I don't know where to put it.
Find your scaly flap.
Oh.
Excuse me? All right, this bit. Yeah, sorry.
Fins, maybe.
Oh,
You said it.
We're in for a wild ride today, boys.
I'm having a heart attack. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hang on a second. Okay. We're really too comfortable at this table. Anyway, so this game has to end. Anyway, you two are now affianced, engaged, to be wed.
Mhm.
And IT has a bright idea of being married at the following commemorative event.
Aw.
So that not only will the whole of Melas be there to celebrate you, but Cass will also be able to come with her whole family.
fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. This is a great idea. This is why I will marry you.
Yeah. Now, naturally, you don't keep this information to yourself. Yes, you do. Honestly, secrets.
Something to herself will be the day. It will just never happen.
Naturally, Gasud, Jory, and Javuk are thrilled to hear all about your upcoming nuptials and spare no expense sending riders across the country to tell all of your friends who probably could have also been informed by a message if either of you could do any magic. But anyway,
How do you get a message from the Messiah?
yes, well, Bluey, pick one sibling now.
Jory comes to mind.
Jory, right.
Middle.
Middle
Straight down the
sibling.
middle.
Swims to the Messiah.
In hopes to, well, they are a proficient interior designer and exceedingly competent, so they probably just booked a ticket, sailing vessel, and then rode the last 30 kilometers. Anyway,
Super sensible.
on like a very fancy liner, and bribed them to go sort of close to the Messiah, accidentally get shot down, wave a white flag. I'm joking, I don't know. Anywho, Jory volunteers valiantly
Volunteers, tribute.
for the responsibility of bringing a message from you to the Messiah in
Hello,
person.
please come to my wedding. Ooh. And that's sent
You
out.
write out your wedding like invitation, write a little letter, draw a little picture. It's very cute. And
Magical photocopier.
Jory goes down to the nearest port, which is the Fang. Stops for a second and then thinks, I could employ a magician to
No.
but I've already bought my ticket. They look over to the box office where they bought their ticket from. There's a long queue. The person behind the till looks a bit grumpy. Getting a refund would be annoying. But shelling out more money for some other service would be even more annoying. What to do? So they get on the boat and They journey 7 days and 7 nights north
To avoid confrontation.
to avoid confrontation.
Yep.
Which I can relate to. He undocks on the lands of the Taraj tribe and the Hainan, who have been helping them accustom themselves to foreign visitors, as they have the most experience with that, being the southernmost isle on the on this kind of continent. And your brother is travelled, ferried, nay, flayed over to the ice palace of Erasure to carry tidings. Erasure? Freudian. Spoiler. Of the Maasai to carry tidings of your upcoming nuptials, which brings me to it's your turn now. Get off the bed. Get off the bed! You get rid of the mortal instruments first.
I don't know.
I like them.
Thinking about it.
They're pretty. I love the art.
Woo! That's why I bought them.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh my gosh, is that Bluey?
It is me, Ostergemon.
Guys, it looks like
Hey.
Bluey.
Oh.
Kind of. Except not
Let's
really.
see. I'll have to.
Except you're wrong, because it's not.
Why are you being mean?
Why are you gay?
You made me gay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't
Turned me
finish that.
gay. Actually, that's not true.
It's not true.
D&D turned me gay.
I thought you looking at boobies on the computer when you were 9 turned you gay, but anyway. Hee.
You guys all know a bit more about me than you did before this. But anyway. Anyway.
Anyway. Only the brave have stayed. Aelin, Thomas, my dudes.
Allstar, how have you been in the near future? And
I need to look at my notes that I sent to you.
okay, but I have notes on my phone, so make sure you don't open anything.
Oh,
You are a scammer.
you are a scammer. How many years in the future is this?
This is like a year. So,
I don't know if he could have done any of those. That he wants to do that, but not.
don't worry, no. Oh no, this is the pre-game.
This is the pre-game. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Ulster.
It's not yet 9
Sorry,
o'clock.
that wasn't very Ulster.
It's not yet 9 o'clock. We've only been playing 50 minutes.
Sorry.
What I was saying was, this is where you tell us about your short-term goals, what you're looking to in the future, and how you've been since the last session.
So Ulster hasn't eaten any more fingers. He's doing pretty well. He did feel really bad about eating Cass's finger, so he did promptly throw that up at Loran's coaxing, just to say.
Loran was just like giving him the Heimlich, like, get it out of there.
Ulster has been doing fairly well with Loran's help. He has been. He has been enjoying. He has been enjoying his time as dad. And what are you doing?
I'm just turning off your video for me so that I don't get distracted.
He's been enjoying his time as king, as father, and as friend. He has been paying quite frequent visits, I would say, to Sleer and Bluey, considering he can get to them really easily. He likes to just pop up when you least expect him, usually in weird hours at night.
He appears from like plant pots. Like,
it's a bit scary. Like sometimes he's just there.
I think it's kind of cute.
Other times, you don't see him for months, but you probably hear about the Maasai and what he's doing. He's been continuing to open up the trade routes. He's been expanding their cultural influence, but also their cultural intake. So he is really interested in attending cultural events in lots of different countries and basically bringing stuff back to the Maasai to kind of help them integrate. With his kids, they are growing up a little bit. They're the same old as you saw them. And he is unaware that Loran is potentially subterfuging him. Blissfully unaware. Very happy boy.
He who. Wonderful. And it is in this date that you receive a wedding invitation.
Goodness gracious.
From an elf who looks very frostbitten and cold, who is wearing some very thick, heavy, furry boots, the biggest, thickest, furry coat. you
Is
can
this
imagine.
Bluey's
Brother? His name is Jory,
Jory?
and
He enters the throne room and it's just like,
I'm sick. Just waddles. Hello.
Ulster waves his hand and the temperature changes in the room. And he hears birds in the distance.
Oh my god, thank you. They are wearing regular travelling clothes underneath this.
Why didn't you just teleport?
I don't have magic.
You could have asked someone.
I know, but see,
You could have asked Bluey. She has a free teleport coin.
No, but
You're a
like-
bit silly.
No, let me explain, because I think you'll get it. Basically, I bought the ticket for the boat trip, and then I realised that there was a really good magician's hall nearby, and I was like, I could ask them to send for me, or I could refund the ticket.
He's surrounded by 8 Lachey just looking down at this poor elf like,
Oh, hi, you guys are big. I'm looking for wives and husbands if you want. No, never mind. Anyway, I'm not in the advantageous match. Like I was saying. Yeah. As I
got
thought
my
the trauma of going through a refund was just too much for me. So I just came here by boat.
Mm.
It's for you.
He takes the invitation. Ooh,
Bluey is becoming betrothed. The wedding.
stunning.
And stunning. Yeah.
Stunning.
As they are speaking, the door behind the thrones to that little antechamber opens, and Loran and Daniel waft out arm in arm, chittering and chattering over a whole host of menial topics in very broken but improving massage, which there's been their personal goal over this last 12 months or so.
Language.
They're doing their best. Lucas follows them out with a large kind of ornamental scroll under his arm, where he then sits beside you on the throne, Ulster, and unravels it, and then sits.
The Shay move to accommodate him.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And then leans in and is just like, so I was just thinking about those trade routes, and oh,
Ooh, visitor.
did you get a Yes, I've been advised that was a bad idea. Yeah, no, it is a bad idea.
We might have to accommodate him considering there aren't many more furries for the rest of the month.
That's true. You didn't plan a return route, did you? I just was going to figure that out when I got here.
Did you study the weather patterns of this country at all?
I brought omiyage. And he presents you with some like handmade pastries that have now gone a bit stale from IT. Some like drawings from Bluey.
Ulster eats them anyway.
Okay.
Like-
I will pass that back. Now, do you guys have a
Spits out a weevil.
Oh,
Ah,
a weevil?
it's frozen.
Is it dead?
I suppose you could refrost it. He taps it.
Does it come back to life?
Yeah. It starts wiggling.
Oh, neat. Can I have that? That sounds super cute.
It's not a zombie one. He drops it in his hand.
Yay! I always wanted a zombie pet. Anyway, you are
Plus one zombie weevil.
invited. Now, of course, there is one person who, of all the people in this group, would probably be able to tell you whether or not something was a zombie. Or maybe they wouldn't be able to, because then again, they do also think that teeth are bones. So, Nefel Karadamun Yasu.
This is her legacy.
Radaman Yazoo.
Yeah, this
It's
is.
always legacy of bowed teeth.
Yeah, sit down. We'll do it just in case it gets. So, Nefel Karadaman Yazoo.
Yazoo!
Do you know that I saw a list of names in like a hotel like guest book or something? I can't remember where I saw it, and there was someone with the surname Karataman, and I was like, that's very close. But
Whoa.
not quite. Not quite. Anyway,
An imposter.
Yazar is probably more common, but anyway. Neff, You sense a chill as if a zombie has been made somewhere in this world. Or not. It's hard to say.
There's a zombie walking around this.
Wee wee.
I feel drafty.
But I'm going to tell you a couple of things you would have been doing.
Okay.
Just because you
don't get a choice. I'm telling you.
You don't get a choice.
Okay.
Thomas, no. You are in a specific position in which you do need quite urgently to recruit people to the Temple of Death.
This is true.
And to this extent, Jibakari has decided to keep a tighter leash on you than they have up until this point. And Jibakari has therefore very generously given you a room in the Winter Palace, which you can work out of.
Oh no.
This room. Now, have you ever seen or heard of like Cinderella? Okay, yeah, that's really funny. Okay, so you know how in like medieval castles they have those like cages that hang outside the walls.
Yes.
Well, initially I was going to put you in like a dilapidated attic room, kind of like Cinderella, but I actually think like a double-sized version of one of those would be even better. I mean, that's better than a lot of the accommodation you can get in like London these days. So, convenient location, and it's free. So anyways, you do have to sleep standing up, but I'm sure you'd get used to that in time.
What?
Thomas, I am joking. That
Look.
is simply something that hangs outside of your dilapidated attic room. You do have a proper room which you can work out of. You have a desk that you can sit at.
You have to pay extra for the hanging cage.
You have to pay extra for the hanging cage. You have a mat on the floor to sleep on, etc. There are lots of bugs.
Like
But
a sensory swing.
It's okay. She likes bugs. She has swarm
the
of
hanging
locusts.
cage is like a sensory swing.
Don't worry, Neff is a
If the
bug.
sensation you want to feel was death.
Okay, cute. It's quaint. It's little. But it's Neff will make it her own.
Indeed. Now, Neff,
Mm-hmm.
my question to you,
Mm.
as you're doing your work, your good deeds, what do you do in the couple of years after our previous session? How do you go about recruiting people? What do you do with your life, Nefel?
Well, she is going to have to do quite a lot of traveling to hopefully some, maybe more remote places that maybe haven't heard of the Temple of Death and its wondrous Jubakari. Hand out a lot of business cards, give a few speeches, that sort of
I love
thing.
the idea that Beth is like, who would possibly sign up for this? I know, the uneducated backwaters. Like, that's where I'm going. Sign me up.
Everybody needs a temple.
Wagons, unite, let's go.
And she's bringing Jibakari to the masses, which is something that's maybe been neglected in the past. To those who maybe have too many sphinxes to pick from, she'd like to go to some places that maybe haven't even heard of a sphinx, and this is just a wonderful little idea. So she's probably going to do a lot of traveling, and then also, I mean,
So
as
you
she's
want to do religious kidnap, where you lure them into a cult essentially for a foreign god and bring them back to your home.
she's becoming a Temple of Death missionary, is what she's doing.
Yeah.
That's a missionary.
Right. So here's what's going to happen.
Mhm.
You do this. I would like you to roll me 3 d20s, one for each year, which is going to kind of let us know. I'm just going to borrow your iPad to a little bit. Let us know roughly how well you do in recruiting people.
Just a straight D20 roll, or am I rolling any sort of check?
You can add charisma, Bluey.
Oh,
Are you asking about foresight?
Can you roll
Yeah,
foresight for a whole year?
I imagine Bluey would offer some perhaps protective bodyguard services occasionally to Neff on her travels.
Awesome, definitely doable.
We're
Okay,
going on like a little duo.
amazing. Then, in that regard, you come with esteem and prestige. So people know who you are when you are together. When you're it's kind of like a boy band. If you're apart, it's a little bit hard to say. But when you're together, you're like a visual unit. And you're like, oh my god, I know those guys.
I know that's fine.
So I'll let you, Thomas, roll with advantage. And if you wish to, you can add your charisma modifier.
Okay, in that case, I'll roll 6 charisma checks, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Or religion checks. You can choose. I'll let you choose. Because that seems
I'll
only
take the religion. Okay, let's do the first one with advantage.
Yas Kingo.
So it's either a 24 or it's it's a natural. Okay, the first one's a natural 20.
Stunning.
Pretty good. She's very religious.
Stunning. Right.
Makes it a 27 as well.
So,
Modifier.
Thomas,
What is
have you
that?
ever seen Alice in Wonderland?
I've read Alice in Wonderland.
Have you? Well,
Seen Alice in Wonderland.
I think maybe as a kid I saw like the animated one. I don't remember it that well. It's like both books combined, and I don't know. It's confusing.
Thomas,
Yes.
in Alice in Wonderland,
Mhm.
there are two crazy characters called Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Oh,
And they tell a little story.
There's a few, but
It's-
those are included. Yeah.
They tell a little story, you
Mm.
see, which traumatized children for years to come, myself included. And this was the story
oh god.
of the baby oysters. Now, the baby oysters were warned by their mama to never go up to the shore, no matter what. However, a very well-dressed and savvy businessman one day played a lovely song and all of them wanted to dance. So the little baby oysters all danced up to the seashore, la 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 la. And who else was there? Was a very friendly piratey cook.
Mhm.
And the cook builds a shack. And the old businessman lures the baby oysters into the shack. And do you want to know what they do?
What do
Thomas?
they do?
They eat the baby oysters.
Uh huh.
Now,
Yeah. Okay.
you and me wander the deserts all the way to a little place called Kemarat, which is on the neighboring border,
Mhm.
the country neighboring Kalkan.
Mhm.
And here you come across a very quaint little village.
Mhm.
Here you find old people, ladies, women, children,
Mm.
all of whom who are just breezing by simple farmer lifestyles. The eldest of the bunch, when they see you coming, they say, "Arr, we've seen their type before. I don't trust them." But the young'uns, well, they come flocking. They see you as an escape to the monotony of their farmer lifestyle. And they follow you, la 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 la, like children of Hamlin to the piper.
Mhm.
And they know of your fame and your prestige.
Bluey, like, what have I done?
Yes, you might have to rethink the next few years. I don't know. Let's see how this plays out.
And one by one, even as they see their home further away, falling into the distance,
Mhm.
even as they are perplexed by the sight of a dilapidated, worn-down castle, this is a grander structure than any they have yet ever seen in their lives. And when Fala comes out, greets you on the doorstep and takes them away into the main hall where they will meet Jibakari and begs you on your way, and you never see them again. Well, that's fine. No, I'm kidding. You see them again. They're just different. They're just anyway, and that kind of process just roll these religion checks, or you can choose not to.
I think she will continue to. Look, at this point, Neff and the Bluey, they're like the Blues Brothers. We're on a mission from God. It's what we gotta do.
Bluey still God, or is Bluey after the first mission God, I think I'm gonna have to take a dip from this. You're on your own.
Bluey, thank you so. I really appreciate your prior agreement to helping me with the entirety of my missions. I appreciate your bodyguard services. I don't know what I would do without you. Thank you. I'm in your debt.
Can I have a brief foresight
Yeah, you can.
for the next one?
You want it to
Rather
be no, don't you? You want Neff to fail, don't you?
Okay.
Bluey, you are the saboteur.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I watched that show a lot as a child. Oh my god.
All right, so I will make another 2 religion checks with advantage. So we'll go ahead. So I'm rolling the first one. It's either an 18 or an 18. So it's definitely an 18 because both.
What's your
Wow.
modifier? What's your modifier?
My modifier is +7 for religion. I'm very religious. That's my biggest character trait outside of my incompetence.
You may notice that Bluey focuses a lot more of her efforts on, say, protecting Neff and like helping keep up with training and whatever. Maybe just really stands in the background, just like really away from things.
The first mission we were like this next to each other. Second mission it's like Bluey's like this.
Oh wow, look at that. And I'm gonna do that. Wait, no, Bluey can't do that anymore. She can't do free foresights. I totally fucking forgot. Never mind.
Why can't you?
For
She no
reasons.
longer has the magic.
Oh.
You no longer have magic.
I no longer have magic. Fuck. Oh, that just rolled a 1. That's so funny.
So,
I'm sorry, Bluey.
Bluey, you are forced to watch this travesty occur once more. Though in a far smaller scale, I will say. And shockingly, these missions scar you more, I think, than
What'll I do?
and the whole of your ordeals throughout the past year, leading up to the fight at Melas. But regardless, these missions thankfully do come to an end when Neff's evangelism bears fewer and fewer fruits as you do realize the word of the Temple of Death has been spread to the extent that it's terrifying.
Everyone's like, coming! Steal our children! Run away!
I feel like this would be really popular in the goth punk underground scene that might be developing in Kemred.
Okay. Well, as we see that all occurring, we're going to take a quick 5 minutes break. And after this point, we are going to be doing scenes that you guys all mentioned that you wanted to do. So, take 5 minutes, go to the loo, get yourself some water, and then we will get into your scenes. Wait.
Whoa.
Sorry to derail that, Thomas, but I think Bluey would start to
Be like, bye, no more of this.
That's okay. That's okay. We can do adventuring, training, non-religious, converting the masses type activities together. All right.
Like, yeah.
Hit the button, Aiden.
Sybil.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. We now know where you have been and where you wish to go. But let's now confirm for sure exactly where you are. And that is a fancy way of saying we're going to play out some scenes
Where are you?
that you guys wanted to do during the interim of 50 years. So I will let you know when these all take place roughly. But the first few scenes, you can be sure, take place before Bluey and IT's wedding in the preparations for the next annual ceremony at Melas. Now, the Ice Palace has been a bustling, filled to the brim
With children.
with children. Not one, not two, not even 3, but 4 whole youths.
Who are the other youths?
Who do you think? First, Rolby is sitting at his desk, minding his own business. He is living the quiet life of a retired monarch, and all he has to do, really, is prepare for migration and sign some documents. When all of a sudden he tenses, the hairs on the back of his neck rising, as a small red-haired boy, sparking at the heels, rushes through the door and barrels into his knees. promptly setting his robe alight. Show on Game on Dehane does take after Loran much, much more than Ulster, but you can tell that he is going to be an absolute cutie. Not like his dad, who is super annoying. But anyway, maybe he'll also be super annoying. Following him, hot on his heels, you see Zarina barreling through the door with a long sword in one hand, spinning around like, ah! Sniffing through her deviated septum.
Oh.
Following her, you hear Saraz's jiggly dumpy going as he follows on and is like, Serena, stop. And of course, on his shoulders, just clinging onto his hair, gnawing on the top of his head, kind of snoozing, a little bit of sleep. Valis, as well, has joined in the play. Rolmy rolls his eyes and goes, for the life of a monarch, even a retired monarch, can never be that quiet.
One mini Loran and one mini Karul.
It's true.
Here to ruin your day.
The next two people here to ruin his day are two of the current monarchs, Loran and Ulster, to Rolmy's quarters, who attempt to break up some of the chaos that has begun to unfold.
Also does absolutely nothing to break up the chaos that has begun to unfold.
Never mind, Loran also does absolutely nothing to break up some of the chaos that's begun to unfold. They kind of add to the chaos, really, if anything. Loran says, he's doing very well with his fireworks, don't you think? Pointing at Shoma.
Good thing that Rolmy wears mostly flame-proof clothing since I married you.
Rolmy has a trauma flashback and then
Oh yeah.
turns around and says, Is it still playtime even though it's past sundown?
Of course. I have decided to go on a trip, which means he looks at Loran.
We, looking at Rolmy, are going to be babysitting together. Isn't that wonderful? You, me, my older brother who looks like me, this small child who looks like me, this other child who looks like... Anyway, you get it. Rolmy has a heart attack and probably dies, adding him to the list of NPCs we lost along the way. But he is resuscitated by Ulster, probably. And Loran turns to you and says, and you'll be gone for how long?
A night.
Too long, if you ask me. You sure you don't want me to come with you?
I think it'll be fine.
And you're going?
To visit Sleia.
No, that's what I thought. Check on my shop for me.
Are you
Just
sure
make-
you want to know?
Make sure she's not underselling. I do not want to be losing money.
Also makes a mental note not to do that. Well, where's Percy?
She and Danielle are having a little bit of a play date, learning how to braid hair. You should probably go and help them after this.
After my trip.
After your trip.
Yeah.
But of course. Well, no, you should do other things after your trip. Like run your country.
Oh yes, he pats his crown. Well, farewell, children, Duran, Valis, father. Anyone else? No.
Gerald's probably in the walls.
Goodbye, Gerald.
Goodbye. You hear from a disembodied distance. Wonderful. So, you can leave off to wherever you wish.
To the teleportation room. Doodle-doo. It's like a Batman.
You're the king. You can use it whenever you like and go wherever you wish to go.
I bamf into Ironstone.
Ironstone is quiet at dawn. A soft haze settling over
A good
the
5
city.
a.m.
A good 5 a.m. But shopkeepers are beginning to set up stores for the day. A couple of people are out, but not enough. Not enough to recognize you as a king.
Oh yeah, he
Prince,
takes his crown off.
or even a royal, at that matter. Well, maybe at least someone rich.
He glides over to Loran's shop.
It is, as it always has been when run by Slayer, chaotic,
Smoking.
smoking, filled with children. No, Not anymore now that they've started moving into the castle, but
He knocks on the door.
Slayer,
Uh,
through sleep with 2 coffees in hand, you're like behind the counter, like, oh. Leo's strength has never been in arithmetic, and they did make a mistake cashing up last night, and you've had to pay for it this morning. But you hear a knock at the front door and see a familiar face.
Leah uses thaumaturgy to open the door for Ulster.
Ulster glides inside, his cloak dragging behind him. Hello.
Hello. It's wonderful to see
Good,
you.
good night, morning.
Jet lag.
Good
jet
time
lag.
zone.
Yeah. Well, oh, he takes one of your coffees. Thank you.
How are you this
That's where
morning?
Blue's foresight went.
Yep.
I have come, and I will see. He starts walking around the shop. You've done a good job. Yes, quite. He overlooks all of the damage, all of the undersold goods. Very good. Turns back. Sleer, I require your assistance.
With what?
He takes a long swig of his coffee. I require your assistance in a private room in this shop.
All right. She takes him to the back room and how far along in the timeline are we? We're pre Bluey's wedding, so
A couple of years.
6 years
Like-
in total?
Oh, ignore the previous time skip. That was 5 years already. We're going
Okay.
from that point onwards. So it's been like a couple of years,
okay.
About 7 years in total.
roughly. It's a soft magic system and a soft timeline system.
Yeah. There's just kind of also would probably see with his like massive perception. There's just this little like twiddle of magic that goes off, and Farinia comes out and minds the shop.
Wonderful.
Happy 5 a.m. Proving that he did know the time all along.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, it's Ulster. Hi.
Hello.
Am I still asleep or you really here?
I drank all of your coffee.
Fuck you.
Sleia leaves her own coffee for Farinia.
You're forgiven.
Tata.
Bye.
She kisses her on the head and
Brilliant.
follows Ulster into the back.
Ulster will jump up on whatever high, hard surface he can and sit down and start swinging his legs. And he doesn't look nervous, but he definitely looks like he is inspecting the room. And I would like to roll a perception for any magic that Loran would have left to monitor
Sure.
the shop.
I will say that
I mean,
Sleia would have left the shop largely as it had been when Loran was running it.
I point.
But also, any damages would have been mended.
Sure. There is nothing that you see amiss.
Well, would you mind locking the door and the window? And any other doors?
There isn't a door to this area. There's just a big, thick velvet curtain, unless Sling wants to.
He walks over to the velvet curtain and taps it to freeze it.
Oh,
Knocks on it. Good. Turns back.
there is a back door though.
Goes to that one, taps it, freezes it.
Upstairs
Don't
there
one
are
of you-
windows.
Doesn't one of you have telepathy? Or
So
am
the
I
air
wrong about
starts to go quite cold.
Yeah, Slea's just like, can we... What's so secretive?
He gives you his cloak and sits back on the table. Well, I have come because Loran, I wanted to ask about the medicine you've been supplying him with.
What medicine?
The medicine that he receives from you every 6 months or so?
I've He told me to butt out, so I did.
So you haven't been giving him any medicine?
None.
Mm-hmm. In that case, also doesn't look that surprised. I have a favor to ask you.
Anything.
I
And
don't really trust.
Alstair knows that when she says anything, she means it. It's a deliberate
I'll die
choice.
for you, bro. I'll die for you, bitch. I love you, bitch.
I love you, bitch.
I'll never stop loving you, bitch.
5 ever.
5 ever. Also goes around Slayer. He's like, I just went around the world, bro.
Oh.
Okay. Ulster taps his eye where there's a solid sheet of ice frozen over it. I don't really trust. We have a lot of medical advisors in the palace, and I myself obviously have some knowledge of medicine, but nothing quite on your level. So I was wondering if you would have a look at this.
Of course. So, DM, what do I see? Would you like
Ulster
a
will
medicine
unfreeze
check?
to reveal his eye.
Yes, please, medicine check. You can do this with advantage because you have such a willing participant.
Oh, maths is so hard. 25.
Lots.
So lots and lots.
The skin is shining and glistening from the water that's left after also melted the ice. Underneath, you see that his skin is cold and bloodless, but it's otherwise fine, unharmed. It's closed still. You peel it open a little.
Yeah.
When you peel it open, the first thing that strikes you is the color. It is black with every now and again tiny specks of white, almost like eye white, that peek through. And at first you're unsure of what's happened here because there's still an eyeball in there, and a body horror warning for everyone listening. As you kind of pull the eye open and light hits it, rather than it being black, you realize that it's not black in color, but the pupils of so many different irises are contracting, and you see squirming within, looking in all different directions and of varying sizes and colors, 5 separate pupils, all fighting for space in his eye.
Delicious.
Yummy.
How
Scrum.
can I roll something else to figure out like what is going on here, or is there more information to be had?
Looking at you with his one normal eye.
Mate, what did you roll before? A religion check or a medicine check?
Medicine for 25.
You have seen conditions like this before in other, very rare in other people, but those are usually from birth. It's very unusual and something you've never seen before for this to happen spontaneously, and with so many pupils. It appears that the pupils in this eye have kind of grown over the course of the last few years.
Ulster, do you know what your eye looks like?
Yes. I covered it up because it got weird stairs.
And for Sleer, it would probably also be very disorientating to try and walk with this, like, and look around with this many pupils stacked into one eye.
What does it feel like when it's uncovered?
Like lots of different colours all at once. But also sometimes like I'm seeing things in shards. Things I haven't really seen. If I do this, he covers it. It's fine. Most of the time.
What happens
Sometimes even
when
when it's covered.
What happens when it's not?
I don't know. I'm always very used to knowing what I'm seeing and processing it and understanding it. But with this one, it's just a little bit not me. And I thought that you would know because I thought you were the one who'd done this to me. But I don't think you are.
Like, he can just see that she looks just grieved that he would think she could do this to him.
He kind of gives a small smile. And then he covers his eye again, just to stop you looking at it. I didn't mean that as if I thought you were hurting me, because it's not hurting me. But it's not me.
No, it's not.
And I think Loran has done this to me. He's not telling me why or how. I thought I'd ask you.
Loran gets ascending.
Oh no. Oh shit.
And it is just
Children, get into bed. God damn it.
all he gets
Why
is
is
just
Maslow?
New
Loran,
York.
Loran Gaemon Dehane. And that's it.
Your reply is the only reply you could get to such a message of the man himself. Infuriating, I know.
He doesn't get another one.
Wonderful.
When did Loran start giving you this medicine?
When did Loran start giving Ulster?
Once per year from 5 years ago.
Once a year? 5 years ago. It was in a drink.
Do you have any of this on you?
He shakes his head.
And when these side effects happened, what did Loran say?
That's a really good question.
Have you been showing them?
Yes.
That's a very good question. When they, but do you want me to just answer?
Yeah.
When they first started showing, Loran seemed concerned and took you to many different, including your father, to try and understand what was happening. And then he stopped.
Ulster will relay that information to Sleer.
What did your father say?
That it was nothing like anything he'd ever seen. But that he didn't like it. and they should monitor it in case it causes you harm.
And when did Loran stop having people investigate it?
Maybe 2 pupils ago.
Can I roll Arcana?
Yes.
Just so you
Does
know.
any stop me?
What did you say?
Just so you know, this is Leah's best stat.
Yeah. Cast.
28.
Hex you. I rewatched the whole of Our Flag Means Death recently, by the way.
I hex you.
One episode left.
The
Okay.
character is just Georgia.
It really, really is. Buttons with the freaking bird. Obsessed. Right, Aelin, what are you trying to ascertain with this Arcana check?
Do I have any idea what is going on? Also, that's a very cool candle.
We based the pupil design off a character in a television show, and it was so scary.
I got so spooked.
Yeah.
I'm going to start replying to you in Facebook chats, any information that I think needs to be kept on the DL.
What did you
Because
say?
I don't want to open too many cans of worms in the last session of the
This stuff is here for a reason, though. What did you say? Can I know?
Have you been dabbling in the necromantic arts to some degree?
Ulster shakes his head. I haven't been doing anything. I haven't. He kind of trails off. Sometimes I find myself doing things I don't remember, but I haven't been doing any magic, as far as I know.
Now here's a question.
Ask me first.
Point. You valid, you right?
Ulster would have started freezing over his eye again once you didn't know what it was.
There is a reason why I'm keeping this stuff from some of this stuff from you guys, just because.
I don't know if that would even help.
You can ask, yeah.
Because Slia just wants more information because she doesn't know what's wrong. She can't see the information. So that's where those thoughts are coming from.
Do I get
It's you gotta ask the question to Ulster.
Yeah. Ulster, would you mind if I sought for a bit of extra help? Just to find out what's wrong.
Also looks very interior. Slia, I want this to remain between you and me. No gods, no one else. I don't know how much letting people know invites room for
Help.
meddling. Not with the gods. If you know, then you know. But if you don't know.
I am a conduit for their knowledge. You came here seeking knowledge.
I did. I thought you knew what the medicine was because I trusted Loran. And Loran has lied to me. And I need to find out why. If I ask you to beseech your gods now and they give you some sort of answer, without knowing what Loran knows, I can't do anything. He said as much, that I can't do anything else to my soul slayer. You want me to mute?
No, I was trying to be shuffled about it. Mute real quick.
Also, we'll stand up. I am sorry for disturbing you in this way. I know it's not the nicest thing to bring to a friend. But for now, please don't do anything. Let me speak to him. Gather what I can. Just between us three.
Please roll a persuasion check.
It's gonna move all these babies out the way. That's 20.
You needed it. Because this
Natural
goes
20.
against everything that Slia feels like is like.
Why is my computer not at all charged?
Would Celia still have the opportunity to do an opposed check of some sort if she got a natural 20?
Well, the battery's only 1%. I don't know if I didn't charge. Hang on, sorry.
It's like, I feel like Alstair, like that natural 20 is like an interpretation of how like his sincerity really like reaches Slia. That he really wants to figure this out on his own before doing anything else. So Slia just answers him with a hug. And she just holds him very tightly, and he can just feel her trembling.
Guys, don't treat Loran like he's abusive. Just, he's a good guy.
Who said Loran was abusive?
He's not hurting you. He loves you. I'm sorry. All of these marriages are healthy. Each one of you who I've married, I want you to know that I love you. Your NPCs love you very much. I would never hurt you.
All right, off now.
Okay. This is a hug for all y'all.
Okay. Also, will hug Slia, and he will just, before he leaves. Actually, no, he won't leave. He will melt the doors and squeeze Slia's hand. Do you mind if I stay for tea?
Quick.
She kind of like wipes her face. Yeah, tea would be good. You can
Wonderful.
see Kess's latest inventions and.
Wonderful.
Can they make real birds now? No. Oh. Well, it's a good start, and he leaves the room.
As you do leave, a hummingbird wraps around your head and goes bzz, 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 bzz.
And catches it.
Upon touch, you realise that it's not real.
It probably would become either like a little like bracelet on Alstair temporarily.
Okay. Despite his harsh words, he smiles when he sees the bird.
From the corner, Leo, I turned into a real flying squirrel.
It's not
And
good
you
enough.
liked me less.
It's not good enough.
Nefel Kradaman Yazar.
I'm just gonna get some water, guys. I'll be back.
And Bluey Sparks.
Mm.
I bet you're wondering why Jibakari decided to slow down on the whole. You guys don't have to bring in so many people thing. Well, it's on your latest catch which are thinner than the first few. The people you bring in seem skittish, fearful. And one of them comes up to you, Bluey, just sidles up and goes, "You know what? I kind of heard that some people who go in here don't come out. Is that true? Because I'm working. I'm really behind on some loans."
I missed some of that, but is this person still considering joining
Yeah.
up because of money?
Like
Okay.
this gig pays, I assume.
Does Bluey know what this is?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't pay. But it pays to be a part of the temple, as Neff says, doesn't it, Neff?
Oh, you bet it does. It pays in ways that go beyond material possessions.
Well, that sounds good, because I've been looking for my soul and spirit stuff. I don't know. What should I do? What do you think I should do? Should I come? Or should
Do
I
you literally
say, or should I go now?
do you literally mean you're trying to find your soul and spirit?
What? Of course not. Who's looking for their soul? The soul's right here. Why are you crying?
No reason. Side
You've
project.
got no reason to be crying. You're young and beautiful.
Well, that's mighty kind of you to say. I mean, it's very, very kind of you to say.
Thank you.
Um,
Do you need all those teeth? Can I have some?
who is he directing that to?
Both of you, I suppose. You guys have a lovely set of molars.
No, my teeth. No, I've already lost them once.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, oh my god.
Look, in Draconic, Bluey sort of softly whispers, "I don't know if you can understand this. I don't think you should join up. I'm really sorry." Is that understood at all?
We are going to play a game. Roll
Bluey
me
could
the
try something.
number is the same. They understand. Are you ready?
A D20?
D4.
D4.
Okay.
Okay.
It's going to be a 3, 2, 1 kind of thing. Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Oh, you showing it? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
You can't see that.
I can't
It's a
see it.
2.
I'm so sorry. A 2.
No. You're not speaking my language. I don't even know where my accent's from. It changes every other word.
Can Bluey try in like broken dwarvish?
Dwarvish? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
dwarf.
It's my favorite cereal.
Huzzah.
Huzzah, I'm gonna eat this.
They are a dwarf and they understand dwarvish.
I think no. That's all Bluey can muster.
Oh yeah, Bluey's brother will be stuck in the Messiah Blue.
Nice. Sweet. And they turn tail and leave. And Neff, you stomp your foot on the ground because that's the 5th one you've lost on this trip. You start to wonder whether Bluey might have something to do with it, but that thought is quickly banished for one of your earliest recruits to the Temple of Death as you come down and enter into the foyer. Someone who has been able to rally people to the cause through enthusiasm and pluck alone comes up to you, pulls down the hood of their pitch black robe, and they say, "Don't worry, Neff, you'll get the next guy." And you turn around to see Ender Ashun, who has joined the Temple of Death. Because, in his own words, after being real deceived by Tiamat, I really just wanted to join a good cause that my friends supported, and it seemed like you really got your head on straight, so I trust your opinion.
Thanks. I've only died a couple of times Emden had it bonked as well, but I think it's really straightened up now. I appreciate your support, Ender.
That's
It means
all
a
right.
lot.
Thank you. And Bluey, you're always looking after my friend Neff, and that's great. I'm really grateful. I will say we have unionized, which means the people you brought in have sort of set up a petition to remove all the black mold-laden wooden slats that are currently in the bunk room, and the torture devices that have been stored there for now. Because the blood smells real bad, and some of them still have like little bits of people on them. And we weren't sure whether the Iron Maidens were for sleeping, because there's one enough for each of us, and no beds. So it's really confusing. And we've decided to kind of all pitch in and buy some mattresses to put on top of them to kind of like, counteract, the nails and the stakes.
You probably don't have to.
shit.
You could those could just go on the ground, or I mean, they
That's a
don't.
better idea. This is why we need you to present our findings and our ideas to G. Bakari, because you're besties, right?
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
I've put them all together in a really helpful document, and passes you a
Wait,
full-
could you repeat that
binder.
last line? It cut out a little bit.
This is why I've prepared for you a really helpful document. Like a document.
She'll
They
grab
pass
it.
you a binder. He passes you a binder. And not the gender affirming type, I mean the boring type. And he says, well, see you later.
See you later.
Why? I'd do anything for you.
Thanks. Can you get rid of the Iron Maidens? I don't know if
Those
we're really.
are heavy, and we are kind
It's
of
above regulation.
we're kind of trying to get some health and safety features in, so we might hire out that to contractors, so we don't pull our backs.
Okay. Just
I
make
can
sure you
make
stay a
them.
safe distance away from those.
That's expensive. Okay. Bluey,
Man, running a cult is hard.
Yeah. Bluey, Neff, the two of you are in fact now alone in here in the Temple of Death, and you're kind of looking over this binder and preparing yourselves to go into the room with G. Bakari when you feel a strange presence begin to muster behind you, a presence the likes of which you haven't felt ever before. We'll pause for a moment. Cass.
No,
Titanium.
she's taking a call,
Oh,
it seems.
okay, never mind. You don't feel a presence. You
Sorry.
you
One
do.
second, my dog is. We want literally 30 seconds.
Oh, poor doggy.
You feel an immense presence of energy that's swirly, whirly, timey-wimey, Count Chocula laden. Anyway, so pause all of that. Cass. Titania summons you to her sitting room one day, pats her chaise long, and nestles you into her bosom along with Freya, feeds you some grapes, and says,
We nestle.
My darlings, my friends, my loves, I know how much it means to you to pursue mortal matters on earth. And considering that you're going so soon to attend as my ambassadors to the annual Melas celebration, I think it's only right that I allow you a little bit of free time. Though I must admit, this free time does not come free. Is that amenable?
But- What would you like us to do?
I think it will be within your interests, my love. You see, I have heard of activities which sound similar to those of the Sisterhood. And I know them to be of utmost interest to yourselves. Would you like to go and investigate?
As soon as Titania says sisterhood, I feel like Freya and Cass before that were sort of like lounging. They were having like, they were very chilled. Yeah, and as soon as she says sisterhood, they're both like, what? Yeah, I think they both sit up.
I'm ready.
Weapons are drawn. They're like, give us them.
Titania laughs,
yes.
and she says, "Oh, it's so funny how that one little word gets you all so excited." Wonderful. Yes, I'll send you right where. The situation seems to be that strange individuals are going to isolated communities and taking away the youths. Perhaps for nefarious...
Pulls some weapons out and looks very angry. Like, let us at him.
Perhaps for nefarious purposes. I do have to be honest with you. They are not being as discretionary as the Sisterhood usually are, but they are taking them to a place of great magical import. So it might be interesting to you. Don't forget, you must, however, go to the commemorative ceremony. Otherwise, you'll never go back to the material plane. So don't be too caught up.
Of course. I've yes. There's a wedding I need to get to. Would I known about the wedding, actually?
Sorry?
Has Bluey managed to get an invite to Cass?
Yes. You would have been found out at the previous festival.
Okay. Cass is like, well, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't be a wedding without me.
Indeed. You are the life of the party. Now, and as usual, with a gust of wind, you're thrown back and you spew in the material plane, and you're kind of confused.
Like Bluey slow-mo being like, Neff, I don't think we should do this actually. Just
as you see in front of you, looking bewildered behind them, Neff and Bluey.
For aesthetic purposes, you know how like when the Avengers like all assemble and they like appear and they're like, hiya! Like ready to like do battle. Yeah. Cass and Freya appear like in a puff of like fairy dust, looking pretty cool, but also like murderous. And then she's just like, so that we're all just like frozen in like this mid like, wait, what the fuck is happening right now?
Anywho, you'll turn around and Freya says, wait, aren't these just your friends?
Yeah. Who are you? And how do I know you're my friends? Tell me something only Bluey would know.
Only I would know, but how would you know that I know it?
Something that only we would both know. Okay, it's Bluey. Fuck it.
Really nice.
It just goes for a moment.
Why are you stealing children?
Neff, I think I was about to talk to you about that actually. I think I should have said something earlier. I think
you're also there, by the way, just so you know.
So again,
you are also there.
She's there.
Yeah,
you've been there.
I think should have turned to you, Neff, as well, and been like, "Tell me something only I and Neff would know."
I know teeth are not bones anymore.
Okay, it's definitely these two. She puts away her weapons, but Cass looks pretty angry. She's like, "What the fuck is? I hear that you are stealing children. What is going on?"
Before either of you can say anything, the door to the Temple of Death opens again. Sorry. It does look like some of the new hires want permission to call their parents every 2 weeks. So I've kind of also
Ender?
added that as an addendum. Also, like, it's getting real hard to scavenge for our own food because we live in a barren wasteland. Oh, hey, Kat! How are you?
Same.
Cass is going to run up to Ender and scoop him up because Cass hasn't. Oh wait, Cass might have seen him at. Would he have been? Was he allowed to leave the Temple of Death to go to the annual thing, or has he not been allowed? Is this the first time Cass is seeing him?
Oh, hi! Cass, it's been like forever. Like, I saw you last. Was it at the last ceremony? That was crazy. Did you see the firework display? And then that guy put on a ring and disappeared. Weird.
Okay, if she's seen him before, then she's just going to like silence him with a hand and just be like, "Be quiet, Ender," and looks back at Bluey as who she would have thought would be a bit more responsible. She's like, "Have you been stealing these children for the Temple of Death?
I'm 27 years old.
You are a child. Be quiet."
That's actually really aged at all.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Tired.
You really gotta keep hitting.
I don't think I realized things were getting this bad until literally 5 minutes ago.
How did you not know?
I tried to not know. God, this goes against everything first.
How do we end up here? What is this?
Being quiet in the
What is
corner.
this? Why have we ended up here?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
I think Cass is going to be like, looks to Neff and is like, "Have you been stealing children
We will eventually.
into your cult to make sure that you don't get hit?"
I refuse.
Well, you see, she looks to Ender. I don't know how I got this far.
Well, mostly my efforts
what they
because
will
I
say.
set up the union. Before my input, we didn't even have rags to sleep on. We had to deal with the Iron Maidens.
Cass is horrified. Cass is like, "What the hell has happened?"
Look,
Were those in the castle before?
Actually,
Or did
I
you
really-
add those
look.
in? Were those
Neff,
decorations?
I'm
Where did
really
they come
glad that
from?
Cass is here pointing out all of this because some people have been getting better offers. There have been some weird ladies hanging around up the top of the cliff with like this strange, like spooky armor, like being
Cass
like,
immediately was like, "Be quiet, Ender. Point us in the right direction."
oh, like up there, but they've already kind of poached half the people, like the best of the best. So we're not really a well-oiled machine. To get you guys a lift up there, it might take like 3 to 6 business
Ender.
years.
Ender.
Um,
Ender.
we have a donkey, but he's lame.
Ender.
Okay, Cass is going to turn to Neff and be like, "Not only have you been stealing children and leaving them to like fester in some Iron Maidens, you've lost half of those children to the actual sisterhood, and like this is who's left." Right, Cass is like, "Right,
Wait,
me and Freya don't have time for this."
we have a steed. Wait. This will make everything faster. And goes back inside, comes out with the colonel and a donkey.
Oh my god!
He's kind of old now, but he'll
Yeah.
probably be able to do something.
Wasn't he old to start?
Okay, Cass is just going to grab hold of Freya and be like, "Where were the sisterhood and when were they last seen?"
Like up there. I don't really know what they're doing right now, but you can kind of see the smoke from their encampment because
That's
they're real
the
close.
Okay, I will be having words with you two later. Make sure your children are well treated, and if they want to
They're out there
return
for
home, they
story time
should.
Right now, they have story time like every day.
That's how they
And
do
then
it.
I think Cass is gonna grab Freya, and then she's just gonna teleport out of her, and she's going for the sisterhood. And
Right,
she's
so
like,
here's
"I
what's
don't
gonna
know."
happen. We're just gonna talk through this because
Okay.
I did not anticipate this. You whack them and you sack them. So these guys are not demigods. They don't have the power of titanium at their hands. You do decimate a small sect of sisterhood. There are small children there, and they are like surprised and confused, but they are not straight to violence or death after having spent time in the Temple of Death with Neff. So they are unfazed by your thorough killing of these people, unless you keep any of them alive for interrogation.
Yeah, Cass would definitely keep at least 2. How many are there?
36 counted. No, 3.
Counted them myself, but last year there was 37.
I'd say there's about 3.
3. Okay, then Cass is killing 2 of them.
They usually work in 3s. You notice.
And she's shoving. Before she all of them, she's going to figure out who's the leader, who's got the most no of the 3, and then she'll kill the other 2 in front of the leader and stuff them in her bag for later use.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah.
And then she'll be like,
Children,
"You're coming with me."
What, the children?
Oh no, the children. She'll be very bloodthirsty and like quite scary to the sisterhood, and then she's going to turn around to the kids and be like, "Hello, I hear you have been abducted twice. First by some cult people down below, and a second time here.
Well,
would you like to
abduction? Yeah.
What would you like? Would you like to go home? Would you like to be?
Going?
Oh dear. We're going to quite a magical place, but I wouldn't.
And scary. You look powerful
yes.
and like you could protect us.
We definitely could. However, where I go, you can't really come back from. You might never see your family or anyone on this plane ever again. If you're down with that, then you can come with me. But you have to be definitely sure about that, because
a small hooded figure from the back says, "I'm down with that. I ate my family."
Oh my god.
Cass is like, she looks to Freya and is like, "We can't be the third abductors in this train of abduction. Surely not."
Freya's really confused, like, because if we return them to their families, then won't they think that we abducted them? So should we not just take them somewhere where they'll definitely be found and leave them on their way? They did that.
No. I think we should definitely take them all the way back. No.
8%.
Freya, this is what we're going to do. We're going to return them to their family. If their families are arseholes, then if they want to be third abducted by us, then that can happen.
Bluey and Neff, both of you are still there. Just
yeah, okay. The Neff wants to say something to Bluey and anybody who's there still, who as long as Jubikari isn't here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing she still has the folder
with the addendum that's just been slotted in by Ender before he left.
I have to go take this to Jubikari.
And leave Bluey to clear up your mess.
No,
I can see Slia judging you.
We have some concerns to raise.
I'm going to say something probably heretical. Is the Sphinx of Death needed in this capacity alive?
You want to take down Jubikari?
Look, surely a figure in death is all about like how death can happen, not how death can be accelerated. And also suffering before death. I'm not sure he'd be amenable to all these union-backed measures. Also, I feel like my only option is to repent by helping bring the children back to New Melas, where they can be supervised by many people.
Repent? Oh my god.
Blue might get on their knees or something, like, please.
Please.
What do I do?
Okay, Neff will drop the folder. Okay, Bluey, how do we take him down?
We bamboozled him once. I told you about that time, right?
I remember. This is going to be quite a nefarious plot. I think he trusts me implicitly, so we can definitely get in. He won't expect it. He won't see it coming.
I think at this point, Cass and Freya appear with the children in tow, plus a bound and gagged member of the Sisterhood, and it's like, do I hear you plotting somebody's death? Because I'm sure that Titania wouldn't mind one
Yes.
less deity in the field competing for power. I'm pretty sure that makes her more powerful.
Guys, can I just tell you something? Georgia, you're definitely going to get this reference, but have the rest of you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
We're
The
gonna start it
movie,
today.
Okay, so there's a part where the three main characters are discussing how to kill off a character, and they turn around, and that character's familiar is standing there just quietly staring at them, and that's the kind of like deja vu you feel as you turn around and you just see Fala staring at you from behind the doors, like.
Oh.
Fala, what happens to you if Jibakari falls for some unknown reason?
If you were to experience an accidental demise, unlikely, but I would die.
Oh.
We can't do that.
Do you want to kill me?
Oh.
No, not
I've
you.
only ever been a friend.
A little bit.
The Sisterhood sold me to him.
Cass is like, the fuck's that? Jibakari!
So, will you kill me for being a victim of trial trafficking?
Oh.
Cass,
Fuck! Okay, I feel like we're entering a whole new campaign of like kill Jibakari, right?
We are stopping this right. Look,
can we trap him?
here's
Can we
what's gonna
bind his
happen.
legs?
You guys, no matter what happens with Fala, no matter what happens here, right now, there is one thing that is certain. There are a lot of kids sitting up there with corpses, and they probably need to go. And
We
also,
have-
you guys are on a deadline. You have a wedding to get to, and you have to marry someone, Bluey. So all I can recommend is this, and I think Fala says the same. All I can recommend is this. Think hard on your plot, because you'll only get one chance, really. And come back in maybe 6 to 8 business years and try again. I'll
Okay,
tell
we
you,
have to-
Bakari,
I'm-
that you're offering evangelism. And she closes the.
I've saved these children, and I've got a member of the Sisterhood to interrogate at will, find out more about this. Your whole situation, I don't know what's going on, but I will be monitoring it now, especially Jibakari, because that's quite concerning. If and when you want to kill him, give me a call. We'll see what we can do.
Will do. Thank you, Cass.
Reverse proselytize. We tell everyone to not believe in the Sphinx of Death.
That sounds
What
like a
can he
good
do
idea.
then?
We're gonna hand out anti-business cards.
Sap him dry of followers.
Anti-death propaganda. We'll all live forever if this guy dies.
Oh my god.
First things first, we have to get rid of all the members. Not in a nefarious way, just,
As all the members are like,
tell
no.
them of, really give them an idea of the union's concerns.
I think they all need to help find a better job, perhaps, and realize
Mhm.
their power as a collective, and get out of here with their lives and their agency,
Hmm. I agree.
and still exist where they want to exist on whatever plane they want to exist in.
That's
Anyway, with that in mind, how do you guys feel about getting ready for a wedding?
yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Woo!
Yeah, I think Cass will return the kids unless any kids are going back to terrible homes, in which case she will probably give them to Bluey in Melas. And then get ready for a wedding, and just being like, this was a very weird day to Freya.
Indeed. You guys will
Never a thought for
begin
later.
to journey over to a prayer where the wedding will, in fact, take place. This is a process which takes a couple of days, and luckily, Cass, it's time within which you're able to go ahead if you wish to spend time with your
All the checkmarks.
I know, to spend time with your parents as well. And actually, Tarina offers to help look after some of the children who don't have anywhere really to go back to.
I'll just drop them off with Slayer. Resident daycare.
How old is Tarina? And
She's
how
the same
old
age as
is
your dad.
Ariel?
The same age as your
Okay,
dad, but she's a little bit better able-bodied. And Ariel is physically about like 4 or 5.
Okay, and is Tarina, is she a dwarf as well?
Yes, they're all dwarvies.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to sort of. I don't have. Has Freya been allowed to come on the day things before?
This is her
Or is this the first time?
first fray, but she doesn't
Okay,
really have
then,
one on the.
then Freya is. Cass is going to introduce Freya to her family.
Oh, cute. It's real cute, and it goes very well. They are confused about why you guys look so bizarre still, but they're just happy to have you. And your father does work real hard in trying to repair that relationship. It's not going to go away overnight, but he doesn't have much longer left, and he wants you to remember your relationship as positively as possible.
Cass will work hard at it as well.
I kind of feel like there's a tradition, because the house is along the way, of Slea's family coming up and staying with your family, Cass, and traveling to Melas together to Whitecliff Castle, and all of you guys just making a happy caravan of magic and just merriment and family.
No.
And usually, Ulster and Loran come from the teleportation circle temple, not too far off the journey for you guys. But this time, Ulster messages ahead and says they'll meet you in Whitecliff. Ulster.
Yes. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
No problem, it's me.
Mm-hmm. In a second. Ulster, you're delaying joining the party for a very specific reason. And that is that you have called a how would I describe this? A royal meeting between yourself and one other person.
Naughty corner of the room.
As you kind of settle in, Lucas orders people out of the room, and when they are all gone, he goes over to you and he just taps you on the shoulder and just says, "It's gonna be okay."
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
I know what you're going to do.
Then you understand why he would want privacy.
come to my apartments when you're done. You can braid Danielle's hair.
I will,
And Percy wants to see you.
of course.
And Lucas leaves, leaving just you alone in the Great Hall of the Beast Palace. And a moment later, you hear heels kind of hitting the icy kind of flagstones outside the entrance to the hall, and guards push open the great hall doors, and Loran walks through and crosses the length of the hall, stopping in front of you and kneeling. And he kind of grimaces and looks up and says, "You summoned me in the royal way, so I thought I should greet you as a king, rather than a husband."
If that is how you wish.
Do you want me to stay down here, or can I come up to you? Or you come to me? What's proper?
I think for now maybe you should stay there. But you don't have to kneel before me.
Should I cowco?
No. I have summoned you here because I have been made aware that you've been lying to me. I think you know about what.
What do you want me to say?
Nothing really. I don't even expect you to apologise.
Do you want me to deny it?
I would know if you were lying then.
Everything I did for you and for our family. I regret nothing.
And I want you to know that what I do now does not affect your family or you and I. Loran, I have chosen, alongside Lucas, to revoke your political standing and privileges until such a time you can be honest with me again. And the decision is final.
In a way, I'm glad. At least now I can devote all of my efforts to this.
I'm going to ask a quick question. At that point, Auster will get up and descend the stairs towards Loran. And he'll stop just before him. Loran, I love you. I'll always love you. And he kind of holds Loran's face right near where his own eye has changed. But until you can tell me, until you can trust me, I cannot trust you with my country. I continue to choose to trust you as my husband. but not as my partner on the throne. And I hope you understand why.
You think after 5 years, almost 6, no, more than that, I'm losing track. After all this time, that I would throw the Messiah away.
I don't think that you think of the Messiah when you do these things.
Ulster, you can change the weather with the blink of an eye. I don't have such gifts, but I tell you what I can do. I can follow logic through to infinity. I can see all the outcomes, all the paths ahead of me. I don't need you to change your mind. I don't need you to do anything, really. And I accept your decision. And he pulls a vial out of his pocket and passes it to you. Trust me when I say that this is what you need, and if you stop taking it, you will feel a difference.
And you won't tell me what it is.
Doesn't matter. Do you trust me?
He touches just under his eye. Loran's eye, that is.
He shakes his hair in front of it.
Who did this to you?
I did. My computer died. Hello. Bloop, bloop. Guess we're just gonna be me. Oopsie. Sauce, guys. But that's all right. We're at this, and roughly the end of the scene anyway. Loran just says, I did.
I have a quick question, sorry.
I did.
Then one day you can tell me why you have Karul's eye on your face.
Let's wrap up the scene there with your permission. Because I am determined. There is but a few more things to do. Georgia, you're muted.
I said, sure, you don't want us to do our side quest of killing Jubakari.
We need to figure out the logistics of that.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
maybe
like-
like
maybe
we'll
like-
chat. We'll sort it out.
Decreasing his power base, you know.
True.
We can make that like
Decreasing his
a
influence.
a 2-shot adventure or something. 2-shot
To kill
mini
them.
campaign. Anyway.
We'll cancel him and he'll lose all his subscribers.
Yes, I like it.
Will he?
Well, you'll get actually properly cancelled rather than, oh, I'm cancelled and I'm on 5 news programs about it.
Indeed. So,
He will not be on any news programs.
no.
Make sure of that.
Oh,
That's you.
that was me.
That's you.
That's you.
It's me. I'm the problem. So, can I just have a bit more?
Yeah, you can take it.
I can't shit properly. There we go. You look like Enid. Anyway,
Even
so,
with the personality of Wednesday.
so when you arrive at Castle Winterbrand, Whitehall, it is a whole day before Ulster and Loran arrive.
But when they do.
But when they do, you can tell that they're not quite as comfortable with each other as they usually are. But that is something that disappears after a few hours of your presence. And Loran looks at you, Sleer, and smiles. How's my shop?
Same old, same old.
And how is our resident engineer?
By engineer, does he mean Kestel?
I do.
Ask them yourself. And
Hello, small boy. And he like picks him up and starts whirling them around. And they go, "Moo," and the hummingbird starts spinning around with them. Very good.
Ulster leads Showan and Zarina by the hands.
Aerodynamic. My kids are destined for fuller greatness, but anyway.
also, I don't know if can Loran actually pick up this small, like, dwarven statured child who is dense and full of muscle.
Drops him. Who
Like,
catches him?
There we go.
Again, excuse me.
Celia catches them.
Okay. I tried. Goodbye.
Loran, stop trying to pick up other people's children.
Right. I'll just pick up my own. And he starts racing.
Slayer,
The
I feel like since you've had kids, you've really like gained mass on the arms.
Oh, it's all quite literally. Give it a tap. Go for it.
Oh wow. Oh my goodness.
You go
Everybody.
right through it. My real arm under there. Don't touch my chin.
Just like the real
Oh.
booty.
No. Anyway.
I didn't hear anything.
Loran says, heard on the wind that you, points at Neff, have started kidnapping children.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, they have.
There was that did happen, yes, but we're rectifying the situation now.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so pleased to hear that you're finally living up to your capabilities and everything I expected of you. But just be warned, my entire family is coming, and one of them in particular wants to have words with you.
Who?
And it's obviously the one with the jiggly dumpy.
It's the one that is this, and Cass flexes, and the cake tattoo flexes on her bicep.
And behind you, Sarazar appears.
Zaraza.
Hello.
Sarazar.
Hi. Neff.
Sarazar.
Neff.
Sarazar.
Kidnap
Your
is back.
daughter now.
I know.
I didn't think I'd need to tell you this again.
Mm.
Again. What? What do you mean?
Back when I was trying to give you the, pep talk about how teeth aren't bones
Mm.
and all your other misconceptions, I just really was expecting you to have remembered that. Also,
Would you like to wear a crown?
Loran hisses at Sarazar and carries you away.
Ulster
Falls over. I'm so
Check.
weak.
Right on. There we go.
Very honestly, I'm not quite so sure how it ended up happening, but here we are now, and we have to do what's right.
Yes, you
Fix
definitely
the
do.
situation.
Now, I need you to write apology. I've brought you some pens and some cards, and you're going to write some condolences and apologies to all the families and the communities you have had. Come along, before you get cancelled.
Okay, thank you for the resources.
Where's Bluey?
Where are you, Blue?
I think would be greeting and like would be settling into this conversation and definitely hearing all this and going,
Bluey, shouldn't you be
Oh,
getting
well
ready for
done.
your wedding?
I almost forgot. Thank you. But also should I be writing some of those letters as well? I feel like I really dropped the bloody ball.
That's
You did,
okay,
Bluey.
I roped you into this. I
But
apologize, Bluey.
As a wedding gift, it's now over, right?
I would think it would be very funny if Blue was like, we dealt with him.
Rule and Joel invited to this wedding.
Of course they were.
That's what I thought. Austin would have made Rule carry all of the wedding gifts that
Well-
they bought.
Give me a second, guys. We're getting there. Let me gradually introduce everyone so that I don't have to be everybody all at once, everywhere, all the time. From over the hills, you hear a oh noise, and you see Karul just like with a huge backpack, just like fucking hell, and Jural kind of like pushing a cart with Valis in it, a little bed. He's far too big for this now, but he's curled up. And they eventually make their way over. And Jural says, hello, everyone.
Joel.
Hello. Wonderful
Karul
to
says,
see you
I'm
again.
also here.
Both of you.
Is it? This
No.
feels like a punishment. Yeah.
It is a punishment.
Would you like a hug?
I would like most of my magic back so that I can, you know, summon like an unseen servant to carry more than 5 pounds worth of things.
You are the unseen
Yeah.
servant.
Can I help you there?
You're a servant.
Louis.
Bluey offers to take whatever it is. Like,
Saraza wheels you away and is like, you are getting married. You need Daniel and my mother.
Also, Sarazo, you're not supposed to be within a 2-foot radius of Cruel. Go away.
It's been 7 years. And he just walks off.
Oh, did you
At
stop
which
doing
point-
that?
Fucking hell. Saraza swears. At which point you hear a, oh.
Kev.
As departing from a carriage which looks more like a cake than a carriage, Kev just kind of like steps down in his wedding whites. He says,
You're not supposed to wear white to the wedding.
I was just anticipating that the muck on the dirt was going to turn it grey in advance, so I thought I would just start with a blank canvas.
It's a bit rude to a prayer.
I mean, it could turn green. Then it's kind of, you know.
Would you, well,
No.
perhaps I should paint it. I've gotten quite good with oils. Do you not
Cool.
approve?
You can ask my children to paint it if you want.
I surely would do a better job than a 6-year-old.
Are you saying my 6-year-olds can't paint? My 6-year-olds who are heir to the throne.
Sarah! He runs away.
Ulster just starts laughing.
Slayer! Ulster being me.
Is Kev? I think Cass is going to just like look to Kev, who just called for Saraza, and look to Saraza and is like, "Is this finally a thing? Has it happened yet?"
Gracious.
Are you referring to coitus?
I think
Yes,
they might have been
I am.
referring to, well, okay, yes, then yes, I guess that is
Well,
right.
I was actually more referring to relationship-wise, but I will take also sex. Has anything happened?
Cyrus, it was easier than the relationship with Cyrus.
Sarah appears. Please don't make this harder than it already is, Ulster.
Cass, I think Cass and Brian just look at each other and just start laughing and just start writing themselves.
Bluey,
Ulster's crown falls off. It's great.
Slia also
Sorry.
starts laughing.
This is my mentor. You're all speaking.
Why are you laughing? I don't understand.
Bluey is not laughing.
Kev and I are friends.
Ulster just leans on Cass. She's like, it's fine. There's nothing to laugh about.
Oh my god. We reached a
Cass is gonna
Like, his crown is like this.
Cass is gonna pull out a bottle of alcohol and pass it to Brian, and I think
Yeah.
they're just gonna be like laughing and like raising eyebrows at Saraza the entire time.
Fine. Why are you doing this? I have done nothing.
Yeah, but you've clearly been doing something.
He leaves. Cannot take it. Carol is resisting vomiting in the corner. And Neff, you feel a weight fall upon your shoulders, and no, it is not the weight of all those you've lured to their demise. But it is instead a back hug from your sister of all people. Oh my goodness. Neville. Hello.
Neff will break down into tears.
Careful. And Daniel gives you a big hug and turns to everyone and says, "Hey guys, I bet you didn't expect to see me here."
No, we did. We came over on the same boat.
Yeah, but like
Hi,
I said, like I was going to stay behind, but I didn't.
Oh,
It's a fun event.
Well,
Of course you would be here.
that's
Okay,
interesting.
well,
I expected you to be here, but if events had worked out how they might have, you might not have come. But I guess in the end, because you are here. I don't know what to do with that
Daniel
information.
just
I'm very glad you're here.
smooches you all over the face, and she says, "That's so cute. You're so cute and adorable. But you know who you're not as adorable as?" Turns around with the baby bag on her back. This little guy.
Hi, Percy.
On her back is a 6-year-old. He looks a little bit too big to be there. And they just say,
Hey, Ulster. You're right there. Oh.
Also goes over to Percy and just puts the crown on their head.
There you go.
"Treason.
No, not really.
Treason.
This is just my spare one.
I don't like it. It's too heavy."
But it's small.
Neff, free me.
Neff will waddle over.
Neff is not that great
Can
at
she even
freeing
reach up
kids.
to the back?
I would,
Her toe.
well, I would hesitate before giving your child to Neff right now.
At which point, Zarina and Shoon seem incredibly excited to see and yet another child their age, roughly. And they Shoon specifically says, "No, bring me my like second cousin. I want to give him a hug, and I want to play tag and stuck in the mud."
Can Kess lift up Neff?
You are strong. You're a strong child. I have a deep voice for a 6-year-old.
It is I, the 6-year-old. I've arrived.
I am sure, give and take.
I've
My
come to
voice is
challenge
lower
you.
than my dad's.
My voice is lower than my dad's.
Kaiba. No, okay.
Yugi.
I just
So-
nearly dumped my bag of erasers in the floor in my giggles.
Oh, my wrist.
Serena has been prodding Valis with a stick this whole time. And if
Davina. Abuse.
no, it's not though, because
is.
Serena, if you're going to do it, you need to do it with something sharper. She hands over a dagger.
when
Also picks Valis up.
Jaral is like booming.
Jamal.
I have taught. We've all taught Valis well enough. The two of them can duel, I'm sure.
You don't understand, Cass. She can lift me up.
Cass is is just like, oh, I also like the idea of obviously I don't know the age of the kids, it's not quite right
They're all
yet.
like-
Or maybe
Why don't we put the crown on Jamal?
yeah, I think the castle at the minute has become like the sleepover den for the kids.
Yes.
And I feel like as they get older it's gonna become the party house, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh my gosh, like, I'm just imagining, like, both Kess and Keon working together to lift Neff up to free Percy. The tiny
It was
little
a
collaborative
strong
group
kids,
effort.
yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Indeed. Now,
You know this game is not going to end tonight, right?
it will. It's going to. Because guess what? All of the children get carted off away into
Magically.
a
to the
to the sisterhood.
The children are
to
saved.
Jubakari to never be seen again.
All the children get carted away as Bluey's siblings all kind of turn up and say, in unison, apparently, we got to get the ball rolling on this party planning, you know? And
Sorry,
within
bros.
that's okay. Within a matter of hours, not only are all the preparations for
I'll do the flowers.
the ceremony exactly finalized, but the most beautiful of wedding venues is put together for all of you to enjoy. And Cass, IT comes up to you and takes your hands and just says, I'm so excited that you're officiating our wedding. I don't know why, but I just always thought that, you know, as a fellow dwarf, we would have some kinship and that, you know, you'd really bring like a bit of, you know, life to the party. Are you okay?
And Cass will slide over a shot to IT and be like, this is for good luck.
Hell yeah.
Con saving? Or?
Might as well. Well, no,
Oh,
she's
shit.
bad. She's
Okay.
a little bit Daisy, but not too bad, not too bad.
I feel like the two of them are just going to sort of start, because I don't feel like Cass has really spoken that much to IT, and I just imagine that the two of them start like talking really, really fast and dwarvish and just like having an absolute sort of catch up.
As they should. Another thing you notice is that IT is wearing a powder blue suit with a white bow tie and a white kind of like undershirt. Very pretty, very nice.
He needs something borrowed, and Cass is going to sort of grow like a little flower to go in her lapel.
Oh, lovely. And they pop the flower in.
Also tucks someone else's fingernail in IT's pocket.
IT's like, how did that get there? Oh, I'm gonna go wash my hands. As the dawn of the ceremony passes into the early afternoon, just in that perfect time before the roads get too busy and the people become too shouldered together in the streets, all of you make your way up to the chapel of Whitecliff Castle, a place where once you gathered only to watch over Ender. But now it is transformed with Allstairs flowers, with all of you friendly faces and family. Bluey, to your wedding has come Daniwell, Lucas, Allstair, their whole family, all their children, Loran, Saraza, his parents, Gerald and Crawl, for better or for worse, Slia and her whole family, Neff, Lorella, Daniwell.
Crawl's doing the catering.
Coral apparently is doing the catering, makes sense.
Coffee.
Cass, all of
Everything's
Cass's
just
family.
coffee flavoured.
It's all really pretentious, like deep roasted flavored
Uh-huh.
bit of stuff.
Cold brew.
Freya, Farinia, Onric, Tyrese is sitting in the front row,
Ah,
along with Lapis,
oh.
as well as your siblings. And I would like to ask, who is your best person or maiden of honor?
Ooh. I feel like so the party is extremely precious to Bluey. I think you'd all have front row if we can all fit.
Well, Cass has the best seat in the house. She is levitating, because
Yeah.
otherwise it would be disproportionate.
That is compact and portable.
Mm. We love that for her. 'Cause you know what? Icy Frost popped into my mind. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Icy Frost. Do you want Icy Frost to be like your little flower girl?
Yeah, I think that would be adorable. Or a ring bearer.
Okay. Icy Frost walks down in a like a lovely like frilly frock that Danielle obviously designed. She has now grown to a comfortable 5'7", 5'8". You know, short for a dragonborn, but she's getting there. And she tosses Allstairs flowers very gently around, and she stands excitedly next to you, and she leans in and she says, "Who would have thought that all that time, all those years ago, would have left us here? My parents are at the back. They're super proud of me."
Waves over them.
Yes. Kev is bawling in the corner
For reasons
Cass,
unknown.
Cass clears her throat,
You'd like
and
to think it's-
1 minute she was like dressed kind of like a hobbit, like in her usual sort of mossy outfit, and then you blink and she's like dressed in like the most ostentatious robes with like she's got a little collar. She's like, oh.
Wonderful.
She did cast disguise self on herself, so they're not real, but they are very sort of
They're real to Bluey. That's
they're real to they're real in spirit, and that's literally all that matters. Yeah, I think Cass would sort of like clear her throat and just sort of smile at everyone that's in attendance and just sort of say, we celebrate every year how hard we all fought to make a world where we can do things like this. And Bluey has given everything she has to helping everyone else. And I think it's only right that we've all gathered here so that these two can spend together the rest of their lives.
it's helped me a lot. It's just
IT is sniffling.
in a village.
And she reaches out, Bluey, and she takes your hands.
You two are two of the best people I know. And that's saying a lot because I'm including myself in that. And deserve every happiness, and we all love you. Where's the rings? Rings?
Icy
Are we
Frost
doing rings?
comes forward, and she pulls out two very simple rings. One of them is blue, and one of them is red. And she says, "Whenever I see this color combination, I think of you. I know it's a little bit traumatizing, but it means a lot to me. And I guess I'm going to do my vows now, even though you didn't say anything, but I've already started talking, so I'm not going to stop. I love you, Bluey. You can choose which one you want. They're kind of, apparently Loran enchanted them so that they'll fit to size, whichever one of us. Apparently he's done that before with other rings. So you must be a really well-renowned jeweler. It just seemed fair for you to decide fate which one you wanted. So just how I let fate tell me that you were my chosen person.
Bluey
You can
in
see that her hand is pushing the red one closer to you.
okay.
Like subconsciously.
You can
choose.
look, you can say no to this, but what if we swapped every now and again?
Perfect. You start with the red one.
Okay, cool.
Wow, it fits like a glove.
I
Do you want
love
to
you.
say your things before you put it on my finger?
I really love you. Thank you everybody for coming. I'm really glad we could celebrate how great you are, IT, because this is actually what it's about. And no, I haven't planned something secret, but you are so just special, caring, hilarious. I love helping you. I love being there for you. I love you.
I love you too. And IT's best person is Finnegan. And they pass a handkerchief to IT as she kind of blows her nose and rubs her eyes. I'm sorry. I'm just overcome by emotion.
Don't be sorry. That's all
Yes.
good.
It's time. We wish to be wed.
If you could hold both your hands together. Hang on a second,
Yeah.
IT.
Can I?
So if you're both like holding each other like
Uh-huh.
that, and then Cass is going to sort of like wave her hand over it, and there's going to be flowers and vines that spiral up from both of your arms and interlink them, and be like, "You guys deserve the world because you've given everything you have to it."
Around them.
And I think it's now time that you take a bit for yourself. So fucking kiss each other, bitches.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a wonderful little ceremony. Everybody is pleased. No one is sad. All of the trauma forgotten briefly. And Bluey, IT looks utterly happy in that moment. And as you kiss, Courage 2 flies over the aisle and scatters little rainbow drops of poo-poo.
Oh.
But his
Do I smell
favorite is
okay?
flowers and berries, so it's okay.
Okay.
All across your
Don't
ear.
eat them.
People are both
At least they
wet
don't smell bad.
and surprised. It doesn't smell that bad.
Okay.
Very good. You all kind of separately sort of all move out of the chapel slowly, some lingering, some heading out to check on children or the festivities. But Freya lingers, along with all your family, Cass, and there's a weird sort of anticipation in the air. And she says, I didn't really want to like steal the thunder or anything, but seeing that, I mean, I'd already asked your parents when I met them, but that seems a bit archaic, so I'm just going to ask you anyway. Do you think you could do something like that for us? Maybe one day.
Cass, it's just
right now.
Cass is just going to sort of like, she was levitating because she was just like this, like, yes, this was fun. And she's just going to sort of disappear and then reappear on Freya and knock her to the ground and kiss her and be like, yes.
There's all these public displays of affection.
Allstare says, and Loran kind of leans over him and he's just like, I think it's fun. Look at us. We all are in love and have people.
Oh,
Except
Who
for
would have thought it?
does
And looks to Neff like, sorry.
Neff, there are several eligible bachelorettes here tonight. No,
Sarazo says, at least you have family. As Lorella and Danielle like put their arms around you and give you a squeeze.
She squeezes them back.
Wonderful.
Wonder what happened.
I have a question. Has Leah and Verinia, have they brought new edition? Is this in?
Not
Is
yet,
the proper? Not yet. Not
That's
yet.
gonna be in the
Oh,
sort of like post-game part.
Yeah, Cass is
I
like
see.
20 before anything happens, so
Okay. All right.
gonna be a while.
Future vision.
Well, the way I was going to put it was something a bit more like this rather than future vision. As you kind of all together.
You took the camera off me because you hate me.
No, because I've been leaning in like this and my back hurts.
I've been on the bed.
Yeah, lying down.
You a silly doodah.
Anyway, don't want to spoil this moment.
Silly doodah.
Please allow me to
Me
continue
too.
at 11:15. Oh. All of you come to Melas annually to celebrate this. Not only now, the commemoration of saving the world, but also a wedding anniversary, a commitment anniversary in Cass's case, not necessarily marriage. You celebrate new additions here when they come, birthdays when they coincide, and with every year, the world changes just a little bit in its own ways. And you keep meeting here into 10, 20, 30 plus years. Your children grow. Those who had never even potentially considered having children of your own decide, well, maybe one, if they get to leave the Feywild every now and again. And I don't know about you, Blue, but I too was definitely keen to adopt. Your families expand, and you notice after a little while familiar faces who you expect to see every year. There are some who drop away. And this is the time when you remember them. The year after Lorella passes, Saraza makes the effort to come, even though it's painful. When Onric passes, Verinia decides to travel the world with you a little bit. But you still, unfailingly, make the effort to come. Cass, your father, you knew that he was going for a while before he did. And you drank to honor his memory because in the end, you did succeed in making the last years you had together something new, like they weren't before. And also, as you feel Rolmy's time coming, you make a choice. Do you want to tell everyone what that is?
Ulster. How much time has passed?
Let's leave it ambiguous in case we have to change things later.
During this time, Ulster has obviously been working with the magic of his lifespan and I guess his essence. And after a while of experimenting, bringing the Lachey back, he reasons that he should not do it more than once, potentially, but he decides to give about half of his lifespan back to Rolmy, considering that he took away Rolmy's Lachey lifespan. And so he calls his father into a meeting room very casually one afternoon, and he just lays a scroll in front of Rolmy where he's penned, with Loran's help, the spell, the enchantment that he's thinking of using.
Is this for me to sign, or
It's just so he knows what Ulster is planning to do.
he reads it thoroughly? He only objects once. You don't have to do this.
I would like to do it.
And he's quiet for a very long time. Excuses him more than once to go up to his private tower just to look out over the ice before he comes downstairs and nods to you in agreement.
And Ulster will perform the rites, I guess, to exchange half his lifespan with Romy.
And the only thing that Romy gives us as reason for this is he says to you that he wants to see his grandchildren through. But not everybody gets to evade mortality. Neff, I'm sure you know this to be true. Bluey, you feel age catching up to you in a way that you don't see it catching up to you. You look at yourself and you see your strength, you see your stature, and you think on everything that you were able to do before. And it just doesn't add up. But you know, as in the final fight when you had those years of life, that you're getting older. Help comes from all sides. There's not a single person in this whole community who lets you go unaided. And for a long time, after you feel your age beginning to set in, you are still a pillar of strength for the community around you. And you and IT are there for your family to see grandchildren, to see no less than 50 annual celebrations.
Oh, right.
What's that? The grandchildren?
Like,
Annual
God, the problem
celebrations.
They got busy.
Oh yeah, 50 grandkids. Well, you could adopt
Ryan got
50.
nothing on that.
You could adopt 50 if you wanted to. Anyway. You see Whitecliff Castle change into Merlin's hands.
Good for them.
And you see Merlin offer it to you. To all the children who don't have a home. To all the
That makes
people
sense.
of Melas. Because he is not a king. And though it is his home, he does not need the castle. Not right. Maybe later. "55 celebrations, and all of you are together. Neff, you've never looked so mature and yet not acted your age. Not a single time. Nothing's changed for you. Most of you don't wear age on your faces. But Bluey, walking's a little bit.
Taking it slow. Lots of moisturizer. Those scales are getting mighty dry, gang.
Saraza and Cass help you out a lot.
Also, we'll send you creams. You don't know what's in them.
They smell beautiful though. This
Yeah.
I love this stuff.
And
Moisturize me.
Oh god.
Neff, after 50 years, Daniel doesn't always feel up to coming to these anymore. But Percy comes with you. The Bran kids,
It's nice.
Castell. Sleer's new additions. Freya. And Bluey. We have one good night of drinking, playing darts.
Neff gets hit
Just
in the forehead
absolutely
by accident
destroy
one last
Charlie.
time, just for good measure.
What does Ned do one last time, sorry?
Gets hit by a dart, just for good
Oh,
memory.
Nice.
fuck.
Oh, just
No.
kidding. Just kidding. Don't worry. That didn't pierce my head. Don't worry. It's just a gag. I have a fake dart. I brought it with me just for this occasion.
Oh.
Okay. After coming that is quite funny.
And oh, God, okay. Just before dawn breaks, as tradition has always been, the lot of you go up to the cliffside. And you gather under the tree where, after the final fight, you all left your weapons and laid war to rest for now. IT wheels you up there, Bluey, with your brothers, whole family, the whole party. And you all huddle under blankets together.
Can I make Bluey a little flower?
Yeah.
and also I think at some point in the evening Cass would have brought someone over to meet you, Bluey. She would have been like, I want to introduce you to someone. It's been a while. I wasn't ready, quite a long time, but I wanted Asher to meet her godmother, and you see a brand new baby. And I think Cass is going to leave Asher with you the entire night because you are her godmother, and she was born that day. Funny how things happen.
I think it's a snowdrop also makes it Lily.
A snowdrop.
Is it, or is it Lily of the Valley? I can't remember.
Lily for the valley.
Lily of the Valley.
Lily of the Valley. It's been
And-
a while, you know.
If anybody did also want to know, Sleer's new editions of Lenar and Azar are also frequenters, Ajar, are also frequenters of the celebration. And Bluey, you just kind of turn that flower over in your hands, and when you look out onto the horizon line, you see another figure standing there with sort of a snow white, bushy mane of hair and a very kind but lined face. And Dadalan says to you, "Oh, I always loved this place."
I don't understand. My vision's been holding up so well all these years, but come on, thing.
Dadalan shakes his head and says, No, Bluey, you're singing perfectly well. Let me show you some more. And he holds out a hand for you.
I think just before getting up of the wheelchair, she's got that fucking golden dart. Instead of whistling it, she's gonna throw it to the rock, and she's gonna get up.
Everyone, Bluey pulls out the dart and just tosses it onto the cliff, and you see it land on its mark. A perfect bullseye. And like a yoke breaking over the horizon line, or gold filling a mold. Together you all watch Bluey's final sunrise. And it's a tradition that never leaves you all.
Sorry, say that again. I was blowing my nose hard. It was
It's a tradition that never leaves you all.
no.
I would like to grow the lily of the valley all over that area.
And that day, I think you'll make your way you bring Bluey back. I think that's where we will that's where you know what's happening. We're gonna end the campaign.
Holy shit.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
Mm.
I love y'all. That was beautiful.
Not hanging up
It's a really beautiful game.
That's amazing.
Fucking hell.
I'm sorry, there's a post-credit scene. I just need to get myself.
That's okay. Thank you for sharing this world with us, for creating so much content for our characters, and for just
being
an
best
amazing
DM.
DM who listens to us and brings so much to the table, so much heart, and giving us just an amazing
And the
journey.
game. So amazing that we all
Every time
we
you
will end up crying.
rule I've made, I'm sorry.
It was an
We played
adventure unlike
D&D
any
so
other.
hard that we're all in bits.
Yeah.
Is this winning D&D?
Yes.
I was winning the idea.
Epilogue,
Are we
tears. We've won it.
Lifelong
God.
memories, lifelong friendships. I'll never forget it.
I need to
It'll never
play
be
my notes
replicated.
now.
It'll be in our hearts forever.
Doris, I need a cuddle. Get up. Get up, Doris. Up.
The tears start coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming. Gotta bring it back to All Star right at the end.
Ugh.
It's just one big cycle. Emma can say whether or not this is canon. I don't know. There's Blue remembers being told all the kind of like the soul stuff by Salios.
Yeah.
Look, wherever she ends up in the astral sea, I don't know. Maybe she'd bump into some people. Some bits of
You
people.
are not- you are
It's a bit weird.
You don't go to the Astral Sea. Heroes go to Elysium.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had no idea. I don't know about D&D lore. That's
That's okay. And I was not lying
oh,
when I said that there was an after credits.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
However, if you guys do want to turn off your cameras to blow your noses, etc., that's fine. I do not get the luxury.
No, I want
The only
to see
I
it.
need to put their cameras on are Thomas and you. So,
Can I just ask one more question before we do it? I'm sorry, because
Yes.
I'm also emotional.
Lore. If anyone wants to get sad, I've been listening to.
What do you mean get sad? We're already there.
Get sadder, sorry. Yeah, you're totally right. I discovered this like a week or two ago.
Emma has refused to have a moment, and so
if I
instead she's powering through.
it's 11:35. If I start, I'm not starting again. Right. This is the after credits scene. Neff.
That's me. I'm slightly older. My voice is raspier. I've been on a lot of adventures.
I drink heavily now.
You might have noticed that of the things you told me you wanted to do, there was one thing I deliberately did ignore. And that was absolutely everything to do with Ocean. Yeah.
Ocean violation,
Sorry,
Emma. Sorry.
50 years is a long time, especially when most of your family is mortal, and just when you think you've gotten rid of all of your ties, all of your tethers, your mother, your sister, your brother,
Got rid of.
all of them have passed on through Jibakari's domain. Jibakari summons you. And in this summons, you see two people, Fala and Ender Ashin, who is yet to leave the Temple of Death.
I just get
How old
the
is
feeling that
Ender
he
now?
might like it there.
Ender's an elf.
Shit, he is an elf.
Yeah, anyway.
Hi, Ender.
He's
Hi, Fala.
He waves at you.
He's a pointer.
And Jibakari peels away from the walls, from the shadows, and leans over Fala and says, "Now that I have had your whole family pass through my domain, I wonder if you realize that I knew you were to betray me all this time. Well, I've decided to grant you your wish. You wish to search for Osha. Well, to do that, you must go for a swim. Does that sound agreeable to you?"
If it must be done, I'll do it. Wallpaper demon.
Jibakari looks at Ender and says, I hope you trust this one, or we might not be able to fish you out again. And Jibakari pushes you with the tip of his paw back into that pool at the center of the Winter Palace, and you are engulfed by darkness.
She doesn't resist.
Whee! Time works differently than it in the astral sea than it does on the material plane. Tell me where you've heard that one before. And falling here, you cannot tell how long you have been submerged. But soon, or perhaps not so soon, you begin to regain movement in your fingers, in your hands, and you obey the last command you heard, and that was to swim. Towards what? You don't know.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Out to sea.
You feel a presence as you search for anything, any hint of familiarity. A cold light in the distance. Do you swim towards it?
Nah, she'll take a U-turn. She'll swim towards it, yeah.
And she backs away, don't go into the light and all that.
She's swimming straight towards the cold light. She's swimming.
You remember long ago when you had a dream where you followed Osha until you stopped and fought against it and turned away and fell into darkness. But now you follow and you come across a light, almost like a will-o'-the-wisp. It flits back and forth, almost excitable, energetic, like it's curiously looking around its surroundings, trying to figure out where it is. It gives off a slight blue hue, and when you come close enough to reach out and touch it, it wraps its way up your arm and just kind of like gently holds your cheek and pulls back. And it's a cold sensation. What do you do?
What is it doing? Can I interact with it?
You can.
Nev will try to cusp it.
So you hold it kind of like in your palms, and it sits there. And it just kind of goes like kind of on your palms, like
She's doing a little dancey dance.
doing a little dancey dance.
Where is Neff right now?
In the astral sea. Look up, you see darkness. Look down, you see the behemoth figures of dead gods drifting beneath you.
I think
Imagine
she'll look.
being in the Hadal zone. This is what it would be like.
I think she'll look at the dancing light.
It's an anglerfish.
I think she'll just say.
Yeah.
I need to think about this on the spot for a moment.
You can speak to it if you wish. With your passive investigation and your passive perception, it almost looks to be a flurry of snow or frost.
Mm-hmm. Is it coming from somewhere?
No.
Okay. She'll hold it gently. She'll look to it and say, I won't leave you. And she won't say anything else. Understanding very well that she may not make it out of here.
You hold on to it. And across worlds, Mister,
That's me.
you startle awake as you feel a shiver inside your chest. And the last words on your lips won't leave you. Loud enough to wake up Loran, who stirs beside you and turns onto his side and just holds your hand and says, "You know I won't."
Where are they?
In their bed.
Which bed?
Ice Palace.
Ice Palace. Okay. Also, we'll just lean over and kiss Loran's forehead. I'm right here. Always.
He kisses you back and says, "Why don't we sleep in our house tonight?"
He just gives a little nod. And he looks cold.
He wraps you up. And that is our after credits scene. Thank you, guys. This is the real end. Neff, what does it mean? Also, what does it mean? Guess what? You don't get to know.
Wait,
Emma!
There are
Wait.
mysteries
What
There are
the hell,
things-
man?
yet unresolved in this world.
is
And should you wish to resolve them, well, next year, campaign 2.
Emma?
Same world, different problems, different characters,
Would-
different villains. Boom, boom, boom. Different planes of existence.
I have a
Time
question.
era. Boom, boom.
But that is another story.
No,
It's a theory.
Play. You
It's
can only
game theory.
play if you want to.
Oh, Emma, thank you so much.
But anyway, that's okay, guys. I'm glad we had that last scene because I feel like I've recovered slightly from the tears.
Yeah,
but-
that's brought me back into a little bit more of like the regular rather than the destroyed.
I look. Would Celia know anything important about some of this?
You can't.
Bluey beyond the grave.
Like, tell me.
Bluey just like watching like Neff appear and being like, hang on a minute.
Well, guess what? The most important thing is that your new characters don't know shit about nothing. Whoever those will be, whenever those will be. There won't be a new campaign for a few weeks. Maybe until the end of January.
Yeah.
But that doesn't
Understandable.
play one shots and stuff in between. We're going to do our redo of the campaign 1, which will be every 2 weeks. Again, like end of January-ish.
Just going to be some fun times, but yeah.
Yeah.
Emma, thank
But
you.
you guys
for
will
everything
get a
up to
chance
this
to
point,
revisit
okay?
these characters in a different way, but not for a little while. We'll just give it a little bit of breathing.
Emo!
I'm sorry. I love you
It's
guys.
crazy.
What happened to Osha? What's
You
wrong
don't-
with Ulster? Will Neff ever manage to find her wife?
Who knows?
My wife.
Neff's gonna live until
Question that-
250, so she's got a long time to settle down if she wants to.
It's true, but knowing her, she'd probably swim out to sea and never come back, even if it did end up being that way. So
Cry.
Oh God.
Oh,
we'll have to see.
oh.
Thank you, Emma.
Don't feel cry. I love you guys.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. 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 What do we do? We swim.
Swim, swim. I love to swim. That's the ending track of this.
Thanks, Emma, for just giving us this world.
We have to log
It's
off.
been
otherwise I'm gonna cry myself to sleep.
Because it's been amazing.
That was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll get that
Yeah.
uploaded as soon as we're done here. So yeah.
What session number did we finish on?
202.
202.
202.
202 in 2022.
If we just do another 2,000.
Another 2,000 sessions.
Ugh, your wish.
Yeah, we do. You know that's right. More sessions with you guys forever.
As Emma
Yeah.
dies.
Oh no.
I'm shocked I was able to come up with more. Although, to be fair, every time you guys play a session, you open a different can of worms. So
It's true.
Yeah.
We have no chill.
Delicious worms.
I love you guys so much.
I love you.
Love you.
all. I don't know.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Have a good everything.
Yeah.
You too.
Wonderful rest
All
of your
against-
day.
Stop it! I can't deal with it. You're making the tears come back. Go, just all of you, go away.
The tears never left.